Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to the stream. I'm Braythorn. How are you doing? I am fine. Oh, there you are. You're over there. Hi. So we are here. And there's been some interesting developments lately with rumors about 9800X3Ds coming out. Everybody looking forward to that. I have a video coming out on the 265K that was supposed to come out today. It's coming out tomorrow. And basically, based off of the information that I got from the stream on Thursday. But I was watching a Jay's 2 cents video a bit ago, and he was implying that he was testing out the 9800X3D and that all the charts are going to be looking pretty different soon. I'm pretty sure he mostly means gaming charts, but he can't really say anything. He had to like dance around the topic. So I still feel like the Core Ultra 7 is a pretty good CPU. It is, for not just gaming applications. And it looks like that's going to stay the case, because for just gaming applications, it's going to be the 9800X3D, period, pretty much. So we're just about done with CPU launches. Just about done. We just have a week and a half left. We have till the 7th of November. And then that'll be it. That'll be that for CPU launches for like a while, for like a long time after that. We'll be good to go. What's up, everybody, though? Let me say hi to y'all. How are you? Ted Saunders, welcome. Thank you for that first chat. Thank you for coming in. Crash, how's it going? JD McC, how are you? Welcome. I don't know. Crash, I don't know what I'm going to do on Thursday. Thursday is Halloween. So I'm probably going to do something that's not PC matchmaking, because we're still in limbo. And I feel like I keep pushing y'all back to like, no, wait until this one. Okay, now wait till this. Now wait till that. And it's like, I am pushed in the same way. But there are a lot of good games, good spooky games out there that we could play on Thursday. So we'll see. Over on YouTube land, what's up, Steve? How's it going? Sailor, King on VR, how are you? Ramsey Daily, welcome. Robert Fixit, how's it going? Celtic, what's up? Braythorn the first, I guess I would be. I don't know of any others. Michelle Melton, welcome. What's up? How goes it, good sir? It goes well. Alice, welcome in. And Big Orty 66 Cash, howdy, welcome. But yeah, basically anyone who just has gaming as their goal, it's going to be the 9800X3D if your budget allows for it. It's gonna decimate all when it comes to gaming. That's what they do. That's how those work. That is their primary function. That is their prime directive, if you will. That's what we like to hear. Absolutely. But yeah. Anyone who's coming in who wants to do video editing, for one thing, I definitely have a good recommendation for that. It's going to be the 265K. 285K is on top of the charts according to Puget Systems, but it's also $200 more. Interesting stuff. I'll show you guys. Why don't I bring it up so I can show y'all? There we go. All right, let me optimize the way this looks, and we'll switch right over. Okay. So, what we are... Oh, looks like I need to adjust my green screen just a bit. My chroma key. So this is Puget Systems and their Intel Core Ultra 200S content creation review. I included this in tomorrow's video, but I'm basically going to give you the rundown real quick, everybody. Photoshop, AMD's winning with the 9000 series. And then the 285K, the 265K, not amazing in Photoshop, but these are all very high scores. The way these work, there would be just tons of other CPUs down here. But yeah, you also notice on this list, what's missing? Anything ending with X3D. If the 9800 X3D can start making it onto these lists, I'm going to be very, very impressed. But they lose when it comes to content creation. But yeah, look at this. Premiere Pro video editing, 285K, 265K. Very close scores there. And this one on top is $200 extra. So if you want a CPU that beats everything except for the 285K for $200 less, 400 bucks instead of 600, 265K is great. That's what I'm talking about when I say it's not just all about gaming, guys. But that's what everybody talks about. Oh, it sucks because it can't. There's other stuff. There's other stuff you want to do. After Effects, it's right up here with way more expensive CPUs. 149K original MSRP, way higher than 265K. 9900X is about the same-ish, but the 285K and 9950X, way more expensive, and this thing's hanging with them. DaVinci Resolve, AMD kind of wins at that. And you know, 9000 series, also previous stuff. The newer architecture doesn't work super well with it, but it does work with it pretty well. You look at 285K, it's right there. 265K down here, right by. I mean, we're just like 14 points off of the 9900X. Unreal Engine, Intel's doing awesome. It's all Intel up here. These top four. Now, these are not gaming benchmarks. They are content creation benchmarks using these, what become the industry standard Puget bench. You look at CPU rendering, it's up there with the big dogs there. For Redshift, Cinebench 2024. Cinebench 2024, CPU single core, right up there, top of the line. Blender, CPU score, 9950X is winning. But then right under that, 285K, 14900K, 265K in that top four. V-Rate doesn't do quite as well, but still up there with the top CPUs. It's just for the fact that it's hanging with CPUs that are like 30 or 40% more expensive is very impressive. 50% more expensive in this case, because you're talking about going from 400 to 600 between the Core Ultra 7 and Core Ultra 9. And this is exactly what I was talking about. Now, I don't think they're even testing these with CU DIMMs, like the newer RAM that works really well with it. And in Jay's 2 cents video, he shows gaming benchmarks really climbing the ranks when you use CU DIMM memory. But he was like, if gaming is your priority, wait a week and a half. Trust me. I'm like, all right, I trust you. Tiger Lily, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate you very much. Exiled Wolf, how's it going? It's going good for me. Sally missed my stream. Have my phone lurking though. Have fun, everybody. PS got to shop for new peripherals today to personalize my desk. Very cool. All right, Triple B, thank you for the lurk. King Swaley says, hey, Brave, just wanted to say thank you for the content. Brave, thank you for the content you create. Help me make my decision on purchasing my PC. That is excellent to hear. Congratulations on that. And welcome to the stream. I feel like I should make my head bigger in... Here, 1 second. I need to make myself bigger and adjust this a bit. Nope, can't do that. Oop. I really need to stop using groups and start using nested scenes. There we go. And let's see if we can fix this real quick. one is it? Oh, that's better. It looks better, yeah. All right. Basically, you have to get to the threshold where you're just about to start disappearing, and then you're good. Okay, there we go. PC from Exotic. I was kind of nervous because of the mixed reviews, but I feel much more confident after watching a couple of your videos. Yeah, they did make a lot of big improvements after I talked to them, and I take full credit. Just kidding. They have to listen. They have to be willing to change, and if you're not, you can do all the talking in the world till your face is red, and there ain't not going to be anything happening. Oh, you got the flu, Sailor. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better soon. It's some chicken soup. I like chicken caldo. I'm in South Texas, so I like chicken caldo. It's great to know. I'm surprised that AMD is competing with Intel on the non-gaming side of things. Oh no, 9000 series. See, this is the thing. You don't see this very much. You don't see much of this. It's 90% gaming reviews. So it made 9000 series look like Garbo. But if you came to look at Puget Bench's results, oh, it's really good at certain things. Okay, cool. Like, we have to get off of that. We have to get off of just looking at gaming as the primary thing, because, like, yeah, it's a solid portion of the market, but it's not all of it. I've showed you guys this before. I'll show you again. Oh, great. I got to sign in again. Excuse me. I'm going to come right back over here. From another tab. Why are you being all specific? Okay, no. Okay, back to it. Okay, I've showed you this before, but this, and I know this doesn't look like a lot. Look at that, 95% gaming, right? But this 38, that's 40% right here. 40% want to stream as well. 30% want to do content creation and video editing, right? And then these are mixed in: graphic design, music production, racing sim / flight sim, coding / game design. So you can look at it this way, because there's some who don't pick streaming and they pick a lot of these other things. So it basically takes up like about half of this here. So if you think about it, only about 50% of the people who come to me only want to game. And they're the ones being focused on. What about everybody else? But tons of chicken soup today. Good. It does make it, you know, it's not a medicinal thing, but it does help on with the feel. How you feeling? Bought a PC 4016 i7. Do you think it would be good enough for streaming games like Diablo 4 and WoW on Twitch? Okay, King Sway Lee, what I would have done is probably gone with the i5 and then a higher end GPU. That seems a little bit more focused on the CPU. But you didn't fill out a form, so I don't know exactly what you're trying to do. You say you want to game and stream on Twitch, is that it? It should be good enough for that, but you also didn't mention the resolution. Are you doing 1080p? If it's 1080p, the 4060 is more than enough. If you're trying to do 1440p, you might want to step it up a bit on the GPU. But you could have come here at any time and just gone through the form, and I would have done a one-on-one with you. But yeah, that's one thing that I told Exotic, was that they need to like stop being upside down on the CPU and GPU. They do a thing where, and this is something that not just they'll do, but a lot of other SIs will do, where you'll get an i9 and like a 4070, and it's like, yo, you call this just a gaming PC? Why the i9? And then the entry level, mid-range GPU. Instead, go the other way, because with gaming, the GPU is more important than the CPU. I think one mistake that I make, because in every SI weekly video, I mentioned that I help people one-on-one on the streams. My main mistake is that I do that during the disclaimers. They're important disclaimers, and literally everybody skips them. So why do I say it there? They're important. Like, listen, I'm telling you things you need to know. Like, hey, this is not financial advice. This is not dedicated. It's not dedicated to helping any one person. This is general information. And if you want help, come to my streams every Tuesday and Thursday. I help one-on-one. If this isn't enough information for you to make but making a confident decision, there's nothing wrong with that. And replacing your GPU down the line is one of the easiest things you can do. It is one of the easiest modifications you can make, replacing your GPU later on. So what you have instead is you have a solid foundation with a CPU with a lot of cores. I don't know any of the other specs, but what you did was you effectively chose to wait. Instead of spending a bunch of money on a GPU now, you held off until 50 series. There you go. That's your justification now. 50 series is like 2 months away. But hey, there you go. And welcome to the channel. Welcome to the streams. But yeah, it can be tough to do. And here's what Exotic PC told me when I talked to them about, like, why do you have like a $2,000 system that has a 4060 in it that has all these aesthetics and a higher end CPU? And they're like, that's what people come in and request. And it's because of like videos on TikTok where they show a really aesthetically nice PC, but they don't really care about the gaming side of things. They want that PC. And I'm like, that's a weird demographic. They're like, well, we get that demographic. We do. We agree that it's weird, but it is we're fulfilling a demand here. Okay, sure. I can't, if it works for them and the customers are happy, what am I going to say, right? Yeah, based on principle. No. If you buy something and you're happy with it, my opinion doesn't matter. What's up, Exotic Eel? How's it going? Justin Ritter, yeah, as Michelle Melton said, fill out the form. You're going to want the 9700X for your CPU. It is, as I was showing here the other day anyway. And I did show it a little earlier, but 9700X, not crazy expensive, and for some reason, the absolute peak CPU for Photoshop. What's up, Bumpkin Air? As soon as I turned in, wife had to do a video call and show me stuff at the Halloween store. I mean, look, you get to sit down while shopping for Halloween stuff, so that's a plus. But yeah, let me go ahead and mention that for everybody who is newer here. If you are looking for help on a PC, I have two things to tell you. The first thing is, if you want help with a PC, you need to fill out the form first, and that form is linked in the description on YouTube. And on Twitch, you'll see it popping up frequently from Stream Elements saying, want help getting the right PC for your budget and needs? Fill out this form. There you go. The second thing is, if you just want a gaming PC, you have 1.5 weeks left until the 9800X 3D launches and buries everything. So, yeah. That doesn't mean everything else gets slower. It's just going to be that much faster. What's up, Mike? How's it going? Every time I watch a bigger streamer, I am more and more tempted to use a service that will forward YouTube chats into Twitch chat, and it shows a little YouTube symbol, or like you have it and you can show that on stream. The more I want to do that more and more, just because Twitch chat hears me talking to YouTube and they don't get to see it, and yet YouTube gets to see Twitch chat up there. So it's a little unfair there. I don't do it because of the rules to multi-streaming on Twitch. Wait for 9800X 3D. Yeah, week and a half. It is a week from Thursday. They're launching it. I don't have a system coming in on that day, unfortunately, but I will have one coming in shortly thereafter. And we're probably going to give that one away too. Oh, hold on a second. Let me do something real quick. I'll come back here for the just chatting portion. All right. Okay, I just updated the description to include the VR LA Tech PC giveaway link from last Thursday. And on Twitch, you'll see that link popping up. Enter to win the VR LA Tech Centaur Gaming PC. There's a Gleam link right there. And it is now in the YouTube description as well. You mean it's not Twitch favoritism? Good evening, good sir. What's up, chat? What's up, Toaster? How's it going? How can I ensure to get the right RAM that is compatible with motherboard? Cybertron Tech, the motherboard should... okay, first off, if you're getting AM5, like Ryzen 7000 or 9000 series, you get DDR5. If you're getting Intel Core Ultra 200S, the newer one, you get DDR5. If you're getting 12th, 13th, or 14th gen Intel, the motherboard itself will say like D4, or it won't say anything. Okay? If it says D4 or DDR4, then you get DDR4. If it doesn't say anything, it's probably DDR5, but you just check the specs on the motherboard's website, the page for that particular motherboard model. There you go. Easy. Kareem says, my Twitch isn't loading, so now I'm on YouTube. Welcome to YouTube. Steam is having a huge Halloween sale for those of you interested. Well, Toaster did ask what's up, and that is something that's up. There you go, chat. Anyway, we're almost there. We're almost there, guys. We are almost at the point where I don't have to tiptoe around making recommendations anymore. Anyone who was on a 7800X 3D who got that for a gaming PC, gaming and streaming, either one, is going to be fine. Even when the new CPU comes out, their stuff won't get any slower. But I'm pretty much going to be pushing people onto that. Justin Ritter, I hope you filled out the form. We could do your PC because the best CPU for Photoshop is the 9700X. I don't know that the 9800X 3D is going to be better for Photoshop. Who even knows? At this point, maybe it could be, and that comes out in a week and a half, but it's mostly a gaming CPU. If they did something incredible to make it to where now suddenly the X3D chips are going to be better for content creation and productivity stuff, oh man, is Intel in trouble. But as of right now, the Core Ultra 2S, 200S is probably going to be the best stuff for content creation. And then if you have other specific productivity stuff you need, then we would need to discuss that specifically because they trade blows with like higher end 9000 series on certain things. So is World of Warships. World of Warships, what about it? So it looks like we've had 3 people submit the form. And let's go and take a look at that. Ah, Halloween sale. Okay. Sure, Cash. You just got to make sure it matches. On timings and such, too. Okay. I'm going to say for Joel, is it fulling or fueling? I feel like it's fulling in the pronunciation. I don't know if let me see, when did you submit your form? Oh, so you're here. You should be here. Ritter 874. I haven't seen anybody by that name. And Brennan Gregor. Brennan Gregor. Is that correct? Let me know if I got that right. I do kind of obsess over pronouncing things correctly, so please let me know. I will remind you guys to read the form that you're submitting, especially the first part here where it says, and I quote, if you ignore any of the instructions, if you ignore the instructions in any of the questions, you agree to be roasted on stream. This is one of the funner parts of the stream. It's all in good fun, so please bear with me. And yeah. So like the first question. What is your Twitch/YouTube handle, parentheses username? For the purpose of verification, this should match, and I put it in bold and italics, this should match what shows up as your name in chat. Entering anything other than your username invalidates your form submission. I even included a helpful picture here, as this is what shows up in chat when I chat in YouTube, because I set it to that. And then here, this is what shows up on Twitch. That's my Twitch handle. So if I don't recognize anybody that's on here, that can be a bit of a problem. This just helps me verify that you're not just seeing someone else who submitted before you and being like, oh, that's me, though. Polaris Racer, Braithorn, I've heard the new Arrow Lake CPUs are having stability issues. Who hasn't? What doesn't? Every new platform has stability issues. Every single time. Dead Space 2 on Steam for $3.99. Yo, Igor1980, thank you for the 2 gifted Tier 1 subs. Welcome to the stream, bud. That's Tier 1 sub for Adrian R. Gonzalez and Average Nerd 0000. Average Nerd. That's another way to say it. But yeah, when we tested a system live on stream last Thursday, there were no stability issues. Zero, none, zilch. But it turns out, I believe it was on a slightly older build of Windows, and that might have been helping the case, apparently. So, don't know what to tell you. Basically, if you're going to get any of the latest stuff, you need to be willing to do a BIOS update when those BIOS updates come out, and that'll help your stability. There you go. But it's every time. It's every time. 9000 series, stability issues. Or stability/performance issues for a month after they came out. 7000 series, RAM stability. Do we need to talk about stability issues with 13th and 14th gen? Those lasted for a year and a half, but it wasn't everybody. And it's not going to be everybody. Every time, it's not going to be everybody. Official Kareem, I know it was on the list a while back, and I was okay with waiting for the new Intel releases. Okay. I would have to find you then. It looks like we did a thing for you here. Yeah, we did a PC part picker list. Okay. Well, yeah, you have your full name in here, so that matches at least. Full name's there. It's apparent. So, yeah. Don't know who Ritter874 is. And Brennan. Where's Brennan at? Who's Brennan? What's up, Broga? How's it going? Ed G, thank you for the $2 super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. That's your 20th one on a live stream. Not necessarily mine, but on a live stream. But yeah, basically, guys, there are certain certainties that you can expect with any launch of a new platform, and stability issues are usually going to be one of them. And if you come in saying like, hey, it's having some, yeah, because it's new. They don't wait until it's perfect. They just don't do that. They won't do that. AMD didn't do it. Intel didn't do it. That's it. Apple launches the iPhone, talking about all these new AI features, and you can't get them for a couple months. They're not even ready. But that was like their selling point because they needed to sell phones this year. So it's everywhere. Stuff launches before it's ready. Exactly what Igor said too. There you go. Broga, why are you doing that with the why are you putting phalanges on me? I need a 5090 build, Bray. What's up, D-Steez? Well, you need to wait 2 months then. Probably 2.5 months. Cybertron Tech said T570 ME is my motherboard. And T570? B660? What the hell is your motherboard? If it's B660, you need to see whether it is DDR4 or DDR5. That's it. It should have RAM in there already, and the RAM will be labeled. Pull out the RAM, look at that. I don't know what to tell you. Get Specky or get Hardware Info 64, free download. Download that, look at the summary. It'll tell you what kind of RAM you have. If it's a system that's already running and you want to upgrade the RAM. There's so is it Brennan Gregory? Which one is it? It's called the Bleeding Edge for a reason. It's called Early Adopter Woes for a reason. That's why it's always best to wait a few months for the kinks to be worked out. I like to basically tell people hold off until we have reviews. And the main reason is so that we know what the benefits would be. And then you can weigh the benefits, the pros versus the cons. I never want to be the cause of someone being like, oh, I bought something and I don't like it. That would make me upsetty spaghetti. And nobody likes that, especially me. All right, Kareem, we're going to look at your build here. So basically, we did a full build, except you would need to change the motherboard and the CPU. But I need to look at your form entry here. Let's look at the rest of it. Gaming, streaming, content creation, video editing, graphic design. Okay. So with that and a budget of $2,750, I'm going to say, even though Photoshop is not, if you're doing content creation, mostly, video editing mostly, with some photo editing for thumbnails, like that's what I do, then right here, Premiere Pro, for your budget range, Core Ultra 7 265K. I know we went 14,900K here, but that is around the same price right now as the Core Ultra 7 265K. In fact, you save about 40 bucks. If I enter a form tonight, will you be able to answer it tonight if it's appropriate to do so? I mean, potentially. Depends on if we get any really long ones that take a long time. Gregoire. Like war, Gregoire. Okay. I'll just say Brennan. All right, cool. Okay. So we would need to change it to a Z890 motherboard. So you're probably gonna. Oh no, we already put a pretty expensive one. We put a $422 one on there. So you're gonna be looking at probably maybe a little cheaper, maybe about the same for the motherboard. But yeah, this thing is a monster CPU for video editing, it turns out. So yeah, now there could be some stability issues. Since you're building this thing yourself, you're probably comfortable with doing BIOS updates. So BIOS updates are going to be coming out for the Z890 motherboards. What's up, Arutu? How's it going? So let's change these up. We are doing a white build, so we'll find a white motherboard to match this. Oh, I gotta actually remove the CPU. Or change it. Let's change it up. $399.98. Look at that. Wait, what? Why is this suddenly a different build? Oh, it's my bad. It's my bad. Hold on. Apparently that was a different build. I didn't click edit this build. Edit this parts list. Okay. That picture looks odd. Okay. Is this MATX? No, it's Micro ATX. Yeah. Okay. I said they made the ICE version in MATX, and I think I showed that in the Computex video for Gigabyte. Oh man, that is nice. Right there. That is real nice. And it has better PCIe slot availability than this one. This one, you only have one PCIe slot. Thanks a lot, Asus. And for streaming, you might want more than that, because then you can add additional USB and have an internal capture card. ARS Pro ICE is the way. And it is cheaper. It is $389.99 than the $440 one. There's also the ARS Elite Wi-Fi 7 ICE that is actually quite a bit cheaper at $279.99. Now we're going to look at both of these, and we're going to look at the I/O on them, see if it matches. That's poopy. That's poopy and dumb. Okay, what about here? That's better. There we go. Not amazing. It's not amazing, but it is better, and you have PCIe slot availability so that you can improve upon that. I also don't see any, even though this is, it's interesting that there's no video out, but you do have dual Thunderbolt 4 on this, Wi-Fi 7 with the easy attachment thing there. SPDIF out too, which is pretty cool for some audio solutions. And then you have 10 USB Type A's along with these two Thunderbolt 4s, so that's good. These ones right here are going to be USB 2.0 for your mouse, keyboard, headset, things that don't require high speed. Then USB 3.2 Gen 1, which is going to be 5 gigabit per second. Then USB 3.2 Gen 2, 10 gigabit per second right there, plus Thunderbolt 4, 5 gigabit Ethernet, and Wi-Fi 7. Let's check something. Right now our list is at $25.75, and you told me your budget was $27.50. Okay, this is the new one here. This is the wrong one there. Okay. Let's check and see if they have CU DIMM memory. Is it just not going to be on the list? Just not on the list, maybe? Maybe it's in one of these things. Hold on. Okay, not really. Man Zenkow says, what if you offered PC Matchmaker for upgrades as well? I do. It's one of the options in the forum. You just have to have your parts, the current build. You need to know what it is so that you can tell me what parts you currently have, and then the rest of the forum does the rest, so I know what you're wanting to do with it. That is, if you fill out the form, one of the options. You go pre-built, parts list, or upgrade. So it is a good idea, already implemented. 700 XRD paired with 700 XT 32 gigs RAM. Cool. Michael Hurst, without knowing what you want to use it for, I couldn't tell you if it's a good deal or not. Seems like a good price for the parts in there, but I usually recommend going directly to the SI, not through Amazon. That's a well-documented thing here. Everybody kind of knows I've complained about that quite a bit and stated that you should definitely go directly to the company that's building your PC rather than, because all you are doing is ensuring that less of the value of the money that you paid goes into the actual PC, because Amazon needs to make money, and so does Skytech. If you buy directly from the SI, you remove that extra cut that Amazon has to take so that more of your budget goes into the parts themselves. But otherwise, if you're just gaming, it should be good at 1440p. Streaming and high FPS. Well, in that case, I have no idea whether it's a good build for you because I don't know what motherboard it has. You notice how here I was like looking at I/O and stuff. I mean, this isn't bad, by the way. I know I dissed this one. It's not bad. You do get a DisplayPort out, which can be useful if you're trying to troubleshoot your graphics card. But yeah, this one doesn't have that much fewer. It's just, the other one was better. So I was like, let's go for that one. But yeah, this is what I do. I look at those kind of things. I look at the I/O, because when you're streaming, you're going to want to start connecting stuff like Stream Decks. Some people have more than one because like, this is my Stream Deck for this, is my whatever. Stream Deck pedals, video web, USB webcams, USB mics, or USB audio interfaces. It just continues and continues and continues. Like I'm using an Elgato. This is something when you really get into streaming, I can really recommend an Elgato prompter, because you can have your stream preview. I'm looking through my stream preview to talk to you guys. My camera's right behind it. That takes a USB-C. So like you need to know if you're going to have enough USB as your stream grows and you start getting more into it. Whether or not yours is going to come with a good motherboard, I can't tell you. If you're streaming, I prefer to do a setup where I can choose what motherboard you get so that you get one with good I/O. I don't have any idea, but I guarantee you, because you bought it through Amazon, they probably had to reduce the value of the motherboard a little bit as part of the compromise for selling on a third-party reseller. This is why I tell you guys not to do it. I tell you guys to go directly to the SI. That should be added to my disclaimers, actually. But I don't know how they feel about that. I don't think they really like that, because they still make money off of that, and they want to make good sales there. But like, I think most SIs that I have talked to have implied that they do prefer to sell directly rather than through a third-party reseller. What's up, Risen Bull? How's it going? Welcome. What's up, Dodger Dog? Skytech was selling it at a higher price. Well, that is one of the caveats. You probably would have gotten better parts for that higher price. But and I'm not talking about CPU and GPU. If all you look at is a CPU and GPU, you're playing yourself. You're going to have a bad time if you want to do more than gaming. If you're just trying to game, you're usually fine with whatever motherboard they put in there, yada, yada. But if you're trying to do more and like you need good I/O for stuff like streaming, and all you're thinking about is CPU, GPU equals X dollar amount, you're going to get a crappier PC by default if you shop that way. You are going to do that. It is just like it's a cause and effect thing. If all you care about is that, then that's all they care about to sell the thing. And the rest of it, they can cut corners. And this is a normal business practice. This is not Skytech screwing you over. It's just the way that their PCs are on Amazon, and so is iBuyPowers, so are CyberPowers. All of the makers, when they put stuff on third-party resellers, they have to cut back on the value of the parts other than CPU and GPU, because those are the ones that sell the PCs, the CPU and GPU. So, like, you can't get a cheaper 7800X3D. But you can get a cheaper motherboard for it. You can get a cheaper power supply. You can get cheaper RAM. You can get cheaper storage. All of those things. A cheaper case? Not really, because the case is the case, right? But if you're like, hey, but this was cheaper, I'm going to say, yeah, it's also cheaper. So that's fine if it's fine with you. But once you tell me what you want to use it for, and you want to use it for streaming, I'm feeling like you're going to need to get yourself a USB add-in card to get enough I/O down the line. Right now, you might be fine. Mouse, keyboard, headset, camera, and like there, I'm done. But trust me when I say one of the most valuable things that you can add to your stream are control surfaces like a Stream Deck. And once you have one, you might be like, I know I can have like folders, but I want to have another one, and this is going to be for my this or for my that or whatever. Or you're going to get the pedals because I want to be able to change my scenes and stuff without moving my hands, and that's cool, or whatever. And it's just easy. You don't have to think about it. Or if you're a speedrunner, you can set your pedals to do your your timers and stuff. So it's just all these different things that you can use it for. Doing well, and you doing okay. I bought from SkyTech directly and I've not regretted it. Well, I'm not saying that, Michael Hurst, that you should return the computer or anything. I'm letting you know what you can expect. You can expect that it's going to be a pretty anemic motherboard when it comes to the features. It might even be something like an M-ATX motherboard in a full ATX case, stuff like that. You can expect to find stuff like that if you buy off a third-party reseller, Newegg, Amazon, Best Buy. It just usually happens that way. And if there's an exception to that and you got an awesome motherboard in there, I'm happy for you. I would be very happy to be wrong about that. Yeah. 3DFX says, truth, lol, I have 14 USB ports in use. It is better to not have them, to need them and not to not need them and have them, than to need them and not have them. There we go. Anyway, we were doing this build. I couldn't find CU DIMM memory, but that's something you might want to look in. It's still a pretty new thing. So it's going to be expensive. It's going to be hard to find. It's not even an option on PC Part Picker yet. So we'll stick with the memory that we chose. With the G-Skull Ripjaws M5 RGB, 64 gigs. It's a great kit. DDR5 6000 CL30 is great. It's great timing, great timings, great frequency, all of that. Okay. It's white with RGB. It's gonna match the build. We got a great motherboard. We got a great cooler and case.
Now the main problem area is up here. All of this going on up here is what's causing me the most physical discomfort.
Sorry you're uncomfortable with that, Felt. Nice. Thank you, Mark. What's up, Gary Lee Laster? How's it going? Guys, by the way, if you take a look in the Tangia thing, we added celebrities and characters answering your questions, which can be a lot of fun. So check that out. It's AI things. To hide the M-ATX motherboard, a vertical GPU bracket works wonders. It does. I'd rather just have a full ATX motherboard, though. Man, I'm waiting. I'm waiting more patiently than I would have given myself credit for previously. I am waiting to find out how the new 3D V-Cache stuff is going to run for stuff other than gaming, because they're actually talking about that. And the new architecture for 9000 series should lend itself to that. But it typically, historically, is not very good for other stuff. Oh yeah, so we got the King 95 Pro in white. Great power supply for this system. GPU was the Zotac Gaming Trinity OC GeForce RTX 4080 Super in white. Yeah, there you go. There's your system. I bought an Alienware directly. I was thinking about streaming, but I don't want to be on cam. I have to figure out if streamers have an anime habit. Okay, that Trent Ledford is called VTubing. And there are a lot of resources on that, on how to do that. But it can get pretty expensive because you have to basically have a camera that tracks your movements and then translates those movements over to the rigging on your avatar. It can get pretty expensive because you have to have one made for you. You have to get the rigging done for you. And it can be, but I mean, the thing is, you have people of all types, of all walks of life who have been able to successfully set that up. So I guarantee you could do it too. All the resources are out there to do it. But Trent, I would have said, and I don't want you to make you feel bad about your purchase or anything. I would have said anything but Alienware. Anything but Alienware. Dell does not deserve your money. They have not deserved your money for the last 20 years. Unless you're getting a monitor or maybe a laptop. So this list has been updated. Oh, how did I miss this? Sylvan Hunter, I'm very sorry I missed your chat earlier. Hey, Braythorn, hard to catch you due to my work hours, but I've caught your stream a few times. Just want to say you're awesome for what you do to help folks looking for a new system. Thank you, Sylvan Hunter. I appreciate that. And I hope you can come in and hang out more. And yes, it says you're still in chat, so good. I'm glad I caught it. Eventually. Yeah. So Kareem, this should be good. I just got to save this. Unless it's carry me. I hope I'm not saying that wrong. 2, there we go. It might be carry me. That is a gaming term, but I've just been saying Kareem. Sorry. Carry May, that's right. Carry May. You told me that before. I'm sorry about that. You see, that's the situation I don't want to be in, where I just say someone's name wrong the whole time and they're just like, it's fine. It's not fine. I don't like it. I don't like to be wrong about that. And I want you to know that I'm saying your name, not loose interpretation of it. Okay. So we have had people who have joined tonight. So Joel, guess we'll be helping you out first. $1,500. So that is probably not going to be a candidate for a 9800X 3D. We'll take a look at the Chicago Micro Center to-do parts list and see what we can do there. 7800X 3D will work just fine for what you're doing, gaming, streaming, and racing sim / flight sim. And maybe they'll have a deal on it. I still don't know who Ritter874 is. I haven't seen anybody with this username in chat. Who is that? Please sound off. My Skytech pre-built comes with a Z690 motherboard with DDR5. Okay. Right, but trust me, there's a huge range of Z690 motherboards. And that's all I'm telling you is that what I would have done, because you're streaming, is I would have tried to be more picky about what motherboard it is. There are times when you can't be picky about it because you get a pre-configured system, and that's fine. If you come in and say you did a thing, I might say, here's how I would have preferred to do the thing. Because instead of coming in and saying, hey, what do you recommend? It's like, hey, I did this. And what are you going to do about it? It's like, I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what to do with this information. I don't want to make you feel bad about the thousands of dollars you spent. Like, well, $1,700 you said. I said it seems like a pretty good deal for a gaming PC. Like that's if it's straight up gaming, 1440p all day long, it's going to do it. It's going to do it really well. I don't know about for streaming. So what you might end up needing to do is get something like this. Although a full-sized one rather than the smaller one. Okay, you might end up, this is a half-size one, a low-profile one. You can get a full-size one with more USB ports. Okay, look at that. See that? Adds USB 3.0 ports. It just plugs into PCIe right under the graphics card, basically. Get yourself something like that. And the full-size one adds, I think, 7 or 8 ports, and it's direct through PCIe. You want one that does not require extra power from the power supply, like this one. And it's like $30. Problem solved. There you go. But I do get it pretty frequently, where people will make a decision and then come in and say, all right, how did I do? And I want to encourage that agency to just like, all right, I watched the videos, I got some info, I'm more familiar with the stuff now, I think I know what I want, and then you get it. That's awesome, because it's very easy to look at the market and be like, oh my God, there's so many options, and just be filled with option paralysis or uncertainty, and you don't know what to do. I'm glad that you felt comfortable making that decision. If there's any, my problem is I can't just be like, I don't have that in me. I have to be like, well, here are some potential caveats. Here's why I recommend this instead. But, you know, you made a choice. That's good. I just found out about Skytech last week. How are their accessories? What do you mean accessories? Like the keyboard and mouse that you get with it? Or a potato PC for potato job? Looking at you.
Gary Lee Laster asked me, who would win bench racing the new Intel Core Ultra 7 265 K CPU Linus of LTT, Steve of Gamers Nexus, Jay of Jay's 2 Cents, or Breathorn of SI Weekly? The ultimate nerd showdown. It's like trying to decide which supercar to take for a spin. Linus of LTT would probably distract everyone with flashy setups. Steve of Gamers Nexus would dive into the nitty-gritty details. Like a mechanical wizard, Jay of Jay's 2 Cents would bring some cool water cooling magic, and Braithorn of SI Weekly could surprise us all with an under-the-radar win my bet. A photo finish, fueled by Mountain Dew and RGB lights.
Yo, that was good. That was actually good. Like, here's the thing. Oh, I need to see the rest. Okay, I can't see the rest of it. But I'm pretty sure, Gary, you misspelled my name. I see it right there. You misspelled my name, so that's why you said Breathorn instead of Braethorn. So you misspelled my name, which is right there, and also on the channel, and it's also on the... It's okay. Everybody does it. It's basically meme now. I'm pretty sure that Tangia corrected it when it came up to me. I'm not, like, no joke. Hold on. I gotta look. I gotta go to Tangia now. I gotta check. Interactions. I need to log in. It did. It corrected the name to Braethorn. And it changed the way you did S space I Weekly. It put SI Weekly together. Oh my God. That is bananas, dude. And it got the things right. The behaviors right. Distract everyone with flashy setups. That's Linus. Steve of Gamers Nexus dives into the nitty gritty details. Jay's 2 Cents, bring the water cooling magic. The only inaccurate part is that I would do an under the radar win because I don't overclock. I'm not doing that. I'm showing you out of the box performance because that's what my viewers would do. You get it out of the box and you start gaming. But that was bananas. That's like legit right there. Crazy. And guys, those are right there at Tangia. It's like 50 cents to do it, basically, I think. I think that's how it pans out. But Gary, thank you for that one. That was fun. That was good. They get beaten by the Toasty Bros working with Bray. That would be fun. I wouldn't mind working with them. Yo, an upgrade question specifically. Sorry, I goofed the form with the form. Okay, so the form shows that you want a full system, but you're just doing an upgrade. I want to watch you on Twitch, but an error kept popping up when it plays the live. That's weird. We have 30 people in there, and no one else is mentioning that. But hey, all good. It's good that you got options then, right, Trent? Okay, so Joel said that instead of this right here, you actually are wondering whether you should go with a 12900K or a 13 or 14700K. The upgrade I would choose, as long as you have the latest BIOS, the 14700K. The reason is it will trounce a 12900K. You shouldn't, if you have newer generations to choose, don't upgrade within the same generation. Don't go i5 to i9 in the same generation. You want that uplift in performance that comes from the architecture change as well. And the 14700K is now, with the launch of the new stuff, at a much better price, and it is 20 cores. It is 4 cores more than a 12900K on the efficiency core side, and is only 4 cores short of a 14900K on the efficiency core side. And it's a good amount cheaper. So I'd go with the 14700K. It runs cooler than the 14900K with the latest microcode updates. You should be totally fine using that. Plus, it's going to be brand new, so it would not have had any of the instability that caused some of that permanent damage that some people did experience. So 14700K, easy. I think that was Justin Ritter. Not sure if they're still here in the chat. Okay, the Ritter thing makes sense. Okay, that was about the photo editing machine. Well, Justin Ritter, if you're still here, first off, read the forum before you submit your answers, because this is not what shows in chat, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. Just sound off if you're still here so we know, because apparently I've already finished with Joel. So that's good. Let me move this one over here first real quick. Where was it? There. It's going to be nice to actually get back to completing these. Let's see. Brady, did you notice that Skytech now makes gaming laptops? I haven't looked at them. They don't really make them. It's going to be from an ODM that makes them for, like, you know, your main gears and your other other brands like that, your other SIs that also carry laptops. Tori Lee says, been rocking with my Skytech PC I bought a few months back and loving it so far. I went with one of the 011 Dynamics since they had a good sale going on. Thank you for all your help. You're very welcome. Is it Lay? Tori Lay? Is that what I said? I hope I said Lay. I believe that's how it's pronounced. But that's good, Tori. Awesome. The laptops look like Chinese specials that anyone can slap a logo on. That's basically what I mean, Igor. Yeah, it's ODM stuff. They serve a lot of SIs, basically, those companies. No problem, Joel. You're good? So for Ritter 847, you need to sound off if you're here. Otherwise, we're going to move on to Brennan, and we'll come back to you whenever you come back into chat. Because that is an easy recommendation. If you are looking for a PC for photo editing, it's going to have at the helm for the CPU the 9700X, which is hands down the best consumer desktop CPU for video editing on the market. And it is not the most expensive, which is great. It beats out the doubly priced 9950. It's like twice the price of 9950X, and this thing is an actual substantial amount faster. So that's basically the main advice I would give. I mean, their logo is on it. Yeah, that's what you do when you get, like, if you look at power supplies, a Corsair power supply, do you think Corsair manufactured that? Nope, but it has their logo on it. They don't even sell on their site, mainly QVC and Walmart. Like that's gonna be a thing for any SI that wants to grow to a high volume seller. You have to diversify your, where you have your products. But I don't really cover laptops. I want to, so that I can get nice laptops to use for travel and stuff, and at least one nicer one. But because the one I have is like, I actually want to get away from this big old desktop replacement laptop that I have and go to a thinner and lighter one that can also game, just not as well. I would like to do that. And I've had certain brands be like, yeah, we'll talk about that. Let's talk about getting one of those, and then we never get around to it. I did find the laptop on their website though. Cool. Okay. So Brennan Brennan. You says you're back in earlier. Are you back in now? Are you double back in? And it looks like Justin Ritter is still in chat. Justin, please sound off if you're here. I did check a few other uses, but 90% for gaming. Others would be nice to have if fit budget. Budget is $1,500. Is that in US dollars? And you want a parts list from Canada Computers. Okay. I like how they have to specify a proudly Canadian company. You're called Canada Computers, bro. Like, we get it. We know. Although no country is more guilty of that than the U.S., where it's like made in the USA, and then you're lucky if it is. If not, it might not be. It could just be like assembled there or whatever, or like boxed there, and they'll just say that. Whatever. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay. $1,500 parts list. What's your actual maximum budget? Like, is it $1,750? Is it $1,600? Or is it right at $1,500? Assembled in the USA, exactly. R2 Rogue, what's up? How's it going? Did some research and picked out the following, but open to suggested changes. Ryzen 5 7600, 7700 XT, MSI Pro B650, S, Wi-Fi ATX AM5. I'll look at it. I mean, if you're, I need to look at the use cases too as well. What's up, Chris? How's it going? How's the storm doing? Bray, how you been, brother? Thanks for helping me out. Put a PC together. It's been 3 years and no problems. Glad I had you help me make a purchase I never regret. Chris, that's awesome. Happy to hear that. Been doing okay. Busy like crazy. But it's launch season, so all this new stuff. Okay. Brendan, I'm going to say this. Do you already have a parts list, by the way? And also, again, still wondering, what is the actual maximum budget for your PC? The reason I asked that, guys, for those who don't know, is because when you get to the budget part, it's in increments of $500, and there's a lot of room for slightly higher budgets in there. So, I think a Falcon laptop with RGB on it would look awesome. You should tell Kelt Reeves that then, Igor, or tell Roby to tell him that. No, I can tell him that myself. Actually, I asked about a laptop, and he said there's a refresh coming up. So, right now wouldn't be a good time, but once all that stuff is out, then yeah, we'll look at it. So that could be a thing. Would like to keep it under 1,500 Canadian. Okay. All right. Remember what this says up here, everybody. If you ignore the instructions in any of the questions, you agree to be roasted on stream. So we were just looking at this, and you guys will notice something as you go through the form. Like, is this guy crazy? Why does he put in bold and like underline in all caps only certain things? Isn't that weird? Why does he do that? It's because I ended up having to do that. Now, the funny thing here is because we're looking at a Canadian store, I would have basically had to convert back to CAD anyway. But it is still just so happens to be a thing that is specific. What is your maximum budget for the PC in US dollars? So let's see where else, if anywhere else in the forum there are any interesting choices made. But I mean, gaming, streaming, content creation, video editing, music production. Now we got to look at this. Take a look at this, guys. Okay, so we got to take a look at this. There's a lot of use cases here, and I know you said gaming is number one. All right, but $1,500 US to Canadian. No. I have to do it the other way around. CAD to USD. That is a $1,078 computer. Okay, and you would like to do 1440p here. So what I'm going to say is you already made a pretty good decision here when you said 7,600, because what's going to happen is this. If you're trying to do 1440p with that budget, okay, and you're trying to do music production, content creation, video editing, and streaming, that's going to be hard to pull off with a budget of anywhere between $1,000 or $1,100 US. That would be hard at any time. Right now, it's like what I would probably say is, yeah, so that puts you on AM5, but you're forced to go DDR5. You could look at going like 12600K or something. The price on that's probably pretty low, and it has, you know, a good number of cores. It's a 10 core. I think they have 4 efficiency, 6 performance on that one. Man, it's been a while since I looked at the 12600K. But either way, that is a lot to ask of $1,000 budget or $1,100 US budget. It's nothing wrong with having that for your budget. It's more about budget versus expectations, right? So what's going to happen is it'll be great for gaming. The rest of it will come with upgrades down the line, okay? The problem is, another problem actually, is that we can't put a really, like an I/O heavy motherboard in there because they usually put that behind a paywall. So you'll have to do something like adding in one of these USB PCIe cards later on, but they're like $30, or you can even do it now. But the motherboard itself won't have it in there. So let's see if we, is there a thing to build a parts list? Is it under services? No, probably not. Okay. I guess I just have to make a cart of stuff. Yeah, Michael Hurst, that's actually a limitation of the platform rather than, I mean, like they could put, okay, no, they could themselves go in the description and put all the individual parts in there. But the thing is, nobody else does that. So they're going to be limiting themselves because they're going to show what no other brands show. Like, oh, we put a cheaper motherboard in here. Of course they did. They won't make any money otherwise, so they had to do that. Found the RAM I needed. Thanks for the info. Appreciate it. Is there a specific part provider where I can use your code to support the channel? I mean, I do have. It's funny because I talk bad about Amazon, but it's the only place where I have an affiliate thing. But I haven't been able to log into it for a long time since my phone got fried in January. So my new phone, it just doesn't let it log into it. So I can't generate codes right now. Generate links. So you just get it wherever you can. Michael, my thing again is, well, motherboard upgrades are a pretty big deal. Just get that card I showed you. Grab one of those. Get a PCIe USB card. Throw that in there, and preferably one that doesn't require power from the power supply. They just gave Roby a new one. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Roby is a bigger channel, and it makes a lot more business sense to continue sending stuff to them. We are trying to be picky about what Kelt sends to me. We were trying to do 9000 series Ryzen, but it ended up being like he wasn't happy with it. They ended up making him wait on parts. He didn't even get any press parts. So basically, we're just waiting on that. So, you know, it is what it is. I wish the Threadrippers weren't 3K. Well, Taco Box Game Studios, your name makes me understand. I was about to be like, well, most people don't need it, but I can get why you would want it. But most consumer desktop CPUs are pretty close to. I mean, they're really good. So it's not necessarily. You basically have to wait until whatever you're using it for is making you enough to where the price doesn't actually matter as much. Oh, Dirk Shooter says I gotta hydrate. All right. What's up, Dirk Shooter? I have a PC part picker with those if you want a link. Yeah, Brennan, actually, yes, but you can't. I don't think you can put a link in chat. On Twitch, you have the option to send me a whisper, like a direct message with it. You don't have that here on YouTube. So if you want to pop over to Twitch, you can send me a DM with the link. I could just do PC part picker. It's just that you specifically listed a Canada computer. So let's just go to PC part picker. I can build one pretty quickly with the information you've given me. And the 7600 is not that great of a deal right now. Oh my God, the 7900 X3D 866. Nobody buy that, please. Good Lord. Oh, I'm looking at Canadian prices. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I was thinking US dollars. It's Canadian rubles. So yeah, that's fine then. System's gonna be in black. Okay. It's not bad. This would work for streaming, I think. Not bad at all. Let me compare it to the one you were looking at. I would prefer B650E for just more throughput options, more connectivity options, but that's plenty of rear I/O at least, which is what we were looking at. And the motherboard you mentioned was B650-S. Let's see. That one's 189. Let's look at the I/O on this thing. This honestly isn't terrible. It's not terrible. I don't think you're getting 2.5 gig Ethernet. And it is going to be 7 USB type A's, you know, but if we compare that to this, you get quite a bit more. 2.5 gig Ethernet, Wi-Fi 6E. Yeah, this is basically has your 7 plus 4 USB 2.0s, which for all your peripherals. And it is 249 Canadian versus 189 Canadian. So I might go with this one. I'd also want to look at how many M.2 sockets there are here. M.2, so there are 3 on this, and what, 2 on this one, or 3? E key, that's for like Wi-Fi. So 2 on this one. Yeah, 1, 2. Yeah. So various benefits. Better, because there's going to be better VRM cooling on this one too. If you just, I mean, that's just visibly apparent here. But yeah, basically look at this as another option for you. Okay, you don't have to get this one. It's just another option. Now you want to make sure you get DDR5 that has Expo. So, because one of the only brands to really put it on their name that it is, that you can tell it's clearly Expo. Yeah, like the Flare. It'll have even the Expo logo next to it. That's kind of what you want. DDR5 6000, CL30 for $139.99. That's a great kit right there. There you go. Choose storage. 1 terabyte NV2 will get you there. I do like Kingston. Video card you chose the 7700 XT, right? We appreciate it. Gaming systems Navy 6060 laptop 2020. That's very cool. All right. No problem, Michael. 7500F. Fake money prices. Now you have a $1,500 budget, right? Yeah. That's why I was like earlier, I was like, I was going to have to convert it back anyway. But still, I made the rule where if you ignore the instructions, I have to roast you. So I can't break my own rules, right? That's how society collapses. No one's above the law. Nice, Bumpkin. Okay, 7700 XT is what you chose. These are the same price. This has much better cooling on it. So yeah, I'd go with that one. 562. Now you might be like, Ray, he said he wants to stream. Why aren't you going NVIDIA? Because it's not a thing anymore, where NVIDIA has cornered the market on streaming quality just because of NVENC. No. Now with 7000 series Radeon cards, you have a one-click option in OBS that gives you great streaming quality. So it's not as big a deal anymore. I'll just let you choose your case. I'm just doing the critical component stuff. Power. We are running out of funding here, though. So I'd like to go 850 if possible. I think the minimum we need is 750, if I'm not mistaken. So I'd like to go 850 just to give us that extra overhead. I know that's a good power supply. Fun thing, guys, remember, if you're in Canada, deep cool is still a thing. It is not sanctioned in Canada. And I know their power supplies are good. And really well priced, too, in comparison with other ones of similar quality. Tough Power GX3 is pretty good, too. RM850 with prices just climbing and climbing. You know what? MSI MAG A850 GL PCIe 5. Yes. That's a good power supply. There you go. Now you're gonna have $100 for your case, and you're done. Oh well, yeah. So for the cooler, this comes with a stock cooler. Just rock that for now. 7600 can easily run off the Wraith cooler, no problem. Okay. Now some of these are gonna tell you not to buy from Canada Computers, and it may be a little $10 more here for Canada Computers to have this part or whatever, but really, it's hard for me to go just from one store if I'm using PC Part Picker. It finds you the best prices, and you should trust that. Sometimes it's not great at finding the best prices, so I shouldn't say that, but it usually does a pretty good job. Broga, I don't know what you're going for with those emotes, but okay. Case, let's just take a quick peek. XC Pro, $90. This thing comes with like, I think it has, is it 140s in there? I'm not sure, but I know that Fantex makes an excellent case. This is their non-RGB, which is why it falls under budget. And if you don't care about RGB, this is your case. If you do care about it, then you can pick a different one. There you go. Here's your full build. And this build is going to be avoiding RGB. This is going to be a blackout build, stealth build. But this is a parts list. It's not a pre-built PC. You can still change this to whatever you like. What the hell happened to my A? There we go. Probably need to clean out my keyboard. Alrighty. Edit parts list, and there you go. Just so you know, the 7600 is a good choice. When I was choosing the spec for the pre-built rebuilt PC, I chose a 7600 and a 7800 XT, not a 7700 XT, but the 7700 XT is great for 1440p. It's fine for that. No problem. It'll do the job. And guess what? Later on, you can go with something like a 9950X3D or whatever if you want. That motherboard should be able to handle it. That's another reason to spend a little extra on the motherboard. Better power delivery. Look at us, already 3 down. I know one of them was just like, yeah, I get this CPU, but whatever. Looking again for, was it Justin Ritter, I believe? Yeah, Justin Ritter. Let me see. At Justin. It shows you're still in chat. So just getting it. What's up, Target Practice? Just getting it tonight. How many more days before the hot deals you were working on? We're still finalizing some details on that. Actually, I need to call Jeff tomorrow. Still finalizing some details on that. But it's going to be for Black Friday. So that you can count the days that way if you want. No RGB is perfect. Appreciate your time. No problem. He may be in lurk mode. Very true. You know what? How about this? Hold on. I have an idea. Here we go. Hold on. Just so that there's something large in the screen if he's scrubbing through for a... That didn't work, did it? Okay, let's go with... Is it just not going to let me do that? Well, I tried. Oh, that's why. Okay, yeah. Maybe 400 is a bit big. There we go. I should start using paint like Thor does. I just don't have the skills and have shaky hands to just like freehand stuff all the time. I mean, it's not like he makes art, but still. Built a gaming PC and switched to all AMD, and the cost went down about $900. I'm not sure exactly what you meant. It's pretty vague to say switch to all AMD though. I mean, yeah, for the GPU, if you're going from like a 4090 to a 7900 XTX, that's about $800 worth of savings right there. I'm pretty sure when you said GPU and processor, you might have already been correct, because saying CPU and processor would be saying CPU and CPU, or processor and processor. CPU is central processing unit. Ray, do you like warm tea? At times, if it's cold out, things like that. Yeah, I'm not a like a tea drinker normally. But sometimes it's very nice. Okay, well. Cybertron Tech. Cybertron Tech. Are you here? Because Justin did not respond. Peter, what's going on? Hey, ladies and gents, how's Tuesday night going? Going pretty good. Going pretty good. Nobody's going to be answering tonight. All right. Cybertron Tech? No. Not present. I don't see them in chat here. Ah, they're in YouTube. Yeah, you are. Okay. Yes, I have 2 upgrades. Okay. You mean 2 PCs? Or 2 upgrades within the same PC? Gaming, pro gaming / esports, and graphic design. Interesting combo there. Okay. So I'll need basically a list of the specs you currently have. And 1500 is the amount for the upgrade. Oh God, it is 2 PCs. Okay. I've never done that for anyone, where it's just like, usually each turn is going to be, I'm either suggesting 1 pre-built or doing 1 parts list, or doing 1 PC upgrade, but you're looking at 2 computers. Is Shockwave trying to get a gaming PC, Bray? What do you mean Shockwave? What does that question mean? I don't understand. Okay. This lags with Choo Choo Charles and Dark Deception. So those individual games, I'm not familiar. I mean, I've watched gameplay of Choo Choo Charles, but I've never heard of Dark Deception. And what is that? Was that a thing? Is that like an expansion? What are we talking about? Yes, 2 PCs, but we can get the other one on next. Well, if no one else comes on, or like you say, yeah, Zofrol isn't here, or whatever, it's still early. It's fine. Okay. Are you gonna tell me the resolution of the gameplay? I guess I gotta look this up. 1 second. You look up using that SKU. Let's see what we got here. So 13400F, 16 gigs of DDR4 3200, an RTX 3060. I'm hoping you're going to tell me 1080p. Okay, good. Uh, 600-watt power supply. That's appropriate for this build. So one of the cheapest upgrades you can make on this is to, I mean, you'll probably need to pull a RAM stick just to see the exact specifications and maybe even the SKU. Double up to 32 gigs. Whatever games you're playing, games are getting less and less optimized, and 16 gigs is less and less becoming is really not the standard anymore. It's kind of becoming 32 gigs as the standard for RAM. That would be a pretty cheap upgrade. I would do that. Upgrade to 16 gigs of matching memory. That's why I can't just go and find you RAM, because I don't know what your RAM specs specifically are. The other thing you can do is upgrade the GPU. 3060, great in its day. Solid GPU, you know. But you can go with something like, say, on the AMD side, clear out your drivers completely, by the way. But let's see. I was looking for this. Here we go. Let's take a look at it on the comparison chart for 1080p. I guess we'll look at Ultra. Why not? So the 3060 is down here in 1080p Ultra. And if you were to go for something like a 7600 XT or a 7700, look at how much of a jump it is between the 7600 XT and the 7700 XT. Good Lord. And the 7700 XT pricing is very good right now. It says 1080p in the forum. No, does it? It's just, who knows? We're talking about 2 PC situations. So I can just ask. I think I can just ask, right? I think I can just ask. It says 1080p in the forum, but for which PC? Because there's 2 of them. So, yeah. That's why I was like, oh, God, okay. Because the forum becomes less useful. Now we're looking at potentially, maybe this meant programming esports for one PC, graphic design for the other. I don't know. It's all out the window when it's more than one computer, right? So yeah, 3060's down here. Pop in a 7700 XT for, let me see what they're running right now. In US dollars, please. So let's change this. Video card. Really? 7700 XT. And lowest price. $369 for the Power Color Hellhound OC from Amazon. $369. $369 is awesome for that card. And it jumps from this to that. There you go. But make sure you actually clear out your drivers completely. You don't want to be running in you don't want to have any residual NVIDIA drivers in the background. Rurutu says 7700 XT, very good value at the moment. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's the first one that came to mind. No, we get to roast you. Them's the rules. Yes, 1080 both. Look, guys, y'all don't understand. Y'all constantly, subtly roast me. That's how streaming chats work. You're supposed to do that. I only get to roast you when you break the rules, or when there's a silly question or whatever. Not dumb. There's no dumb questions, but there can be silly ones. I maintain this. Yeah, 7600 XT, Peter, is a great card, but with the price drop of the 7700 XT, that jump in performance is very much within reach and very worth it. You're talking about those, that is now a 1440p computer. The 13400F, totally fine. Keep rocking that CPU. You don't need to touch it. But yeah, the RAM, I would bump that up to 32 gigs. Just pull out one of the RAM sticks, get that exact kit of 2 sticks for 16 gigs. Okay, total. Get that exact kit, throw that in there. It should boot up just fine. You might need to turn on XMP again. You probably will. You will have to turn on XMP again in the BIOS. But that RAM upgrade and the GPU upgrade would be great. The problem is the 600 watt power supply, okay? And that's why a 7600 XT might be the better option, because I'd probably run a 750 watt power supply in that PC with a 7700 XT, not a 600 watt. So that's where you're gonna have a problem. But the fact that you're saving money on the 7700 XT versus like going with a 4070 or something, that's your power supply money right there. Why don't we actually do a new list, and I'll throw this part in there. It's just never going to save that. Okay. It's never going to save that entry. That's great. Thank you. All right. Add that. And then we talked about memory. I don't know that we're going to have the right memory here. This is just to encourage you to get the memory. Okay. But I'm just going to put DDR4, 3200, probably CL16. No, not 3333. No. CL16. So 750 watt PSU, yeah, and I'll look for one for you. Oh, that's right, 2 by 8, 2 by 8. G-Skill Ripjaw's always a solid choice. I would choose that, but I mean, if you have a different brand in there, it's not a bad idea to just get all the same thing. That way, you still have this. You have the same ICs from the same manufacturer, all that stuff. It's just a good idea. I mean, likely anyway. And then a power supply. RM750E is a solid power supply for $99. But we're still gonna look. There you go. Look at that. MAG A750 GL PCI. It even has PCIe 5 for future upgrades. Like, that's for $69.99. Nice. That's a really good price. Look at that. MSI has been doing a good job on their power supplies. They have. I think this is still probably a what is it called? Speculative position in tier A. But that's them guessing it's going to be good. For Twitch viewers, real quick, I am going to run a manual 1-minute ad, and that should help avoid pre-rolls. What the hell? Why can't I scroll on this freaking window? Well, all right. All right, 1-minute ad starting up right now, and it's going to help new people coming in not have to watch pre-rolls. There you go. Amazing. This is good stuff and keeps me within budget. Awesome. Yeah, this upgrade is $472, and it's going to be really increasing frame rates for 1080p or putting this thing into 1440p territory. And the reason the RAM upgrade is important, I mean, you're gonna need the VRAM. You're going to need system memory. You're going to need all that stuff because if you're going to a higher resolution. And the power supply is going to power this GPU, and the rest of the system will be fine. Looking at it real quick, this is a trace mesh, so you do have mesh front airflow. You don't need to upgrade your case. Your case is fine. The cooler, CPU cooler, is going to be fine already. That's already been working. Processor cooling, certified CPU fan and heatsink. Primary storage is only 500 gigs. Okay. You probably got this a while ago. They don't really use that anymore as far as I've seen. But let's add, as an option, we're going to add some storage into this, okay? And let's find a 2 terabyte drive for you, so you don't have to add anything to it for a while. Because those have dropped in price like crazy over the last year. P3 Plus is a solid option. I believe it's DRAM-less, but still a solid option. Oh, we want M.2. And let's go PCIe 4.0. There we go. And I'd say an NV2 is fine for gaming. They have an NV3 though now, and I haven't tested that thing. SN580, surprisingly performant, 114. But the hell is it? SN5000? What's the deal with you, buddy? There's the NV3. I have not tested this thing, but if it's anything like the NV2, it's good. But if you want, oh, look at that, 126.99. Yeah, Inland Performance Plus, very fast, onboard DRAM, all the good stuff. 126.99. Usually pretty much a go-to recommendation for me. Hi, I'm new to PC building, and I'm building my first one. Got a 4080 Super and a Core Ultra 7 CPU. I don't know how big of a power supply I should get. Not 750 for that, no. For a 4080 Super and the Core Ultra 7, you can probably go 850 or 1,000 watts. I'd probably go 1,000 watts just because. But, yeah. That's an answer to Mini Snoopy. Sorry I missed that part of the conversation there. But there you go. That raised this upgrade up to $600, but suddenly you'll have 2.5 terabytes of storage, and this 2 terabytes is going to be super fast. 7,000 up to what is it? 7,000 or 7,200? I think 7,000 megabyte per second sequential read speeds, or is it 7,200? It's one of those two. Very high. Write speeds are really good too, over 6,000. And the price is awesome. $126.99 for 2 freaking terabytes. Yeah. Okay, let me save this and send it to you. Oh, why I had caps lock on. No, you don't capitalize Tron. That's 1. Let's say upgrade 1. It's hard to type with the mic down here in this position because the arm goes kind of in front of my keyboard, so I will make errors. I apologize for that. You'll learn to live with it. There's your first. And thankfully, I have 2 spots for system recommendation, and then secondary system. So let's talk about the second one. I know you're telling me what games it's lagging in, but I'm not going to give you, like, you don't upgrade your computer for one game necessarily unless you're a pro gamer, which that was mentioned, but Division 2, I'm just going to make a blanket upgrade recommendation for gaming. Oh, this is a Lenovo Legion. This is a Lenovo Legion. Oh God, their site is horrible. Are these your PCs, by the way? $13,700F RTX 4070. I don't know if it uses off-the-shelf standard components or not. $500 for 500 watts for an i7 and a 4070. 500 watts, Lenovo. Really? Yo, that's bad. Hold up. 4070 minimum PSU 650 is the minimum recommendation from NVIDIA for a system with a 4070. Nice job, Lenovo. Good job, buddy. That's why I talk about you guys all the time on my channel. No, I don't. That's why it's called SI Weekly, not OEM Weekly. It's from Best Buy, 2023 model. Like, I'm sorry. I see something like an underpowered power supply, I walk away. I walk away. There's just no way. There's no way. There's no way that they overlook something that important, but everything else was well done and well considered. No, if they don't care about such a critical thing, the rest of the system's going to follow, right? I called out, if I'm going to call out Main Gear for this, I'm going to call out Lenovo for it for sure. But you need a power supply upgrade. The problem is, I don't know if it is an ATX standard motherboard with your standard 24-pin. It probably is. Lenovo's not the worst about that. That honor goes to Dell. So I don't know if I can just recommend a standard ATX power supply to you. But that right there, that's not an option. Even if it has been running, you have been pushing this 500-watt power supply to its absolute limit, to its breaking point since you first powered on this PC. That's the problem with underpowering it. It's going to do its best. And when you run, if you imagine running your car at redline in first gear down the highway for 2 years, it's not going to go well for that engine. Oh, this has an RTX 3060 in it. Okay. Why does this one say 4070? I searched with that exact SKU. Well, whatever. This system's stupid and nobody should buy it. As for yours, a 3060 with a 500 watt is more reasonable. So yeah, I just, that freaked me out. I'm like, wow, they're 150 watts under what the engineers at NVIDIA recommended. That's ballsy, I guess. If it's a 3060 on a 500 watt power supply, it is not as critical. That is going to be only... Okay. That's going to be, it looks like 50 watts shy. 50 watts shy, not 150 watts. So it's still struggling, but it's not like on the front seat of the struggle bus. You know what I mean? Like, I understand. Listen to me, guys. Listen. I have talked to multiple system integrators who have tried to pull this crap. And they have done a very good job of trying to convince me, and it will never work. You are not smarter than the engineers that manufacture these delicate components. Try as hard as you want to be smarter than them. You do not live elbow deep in these PCBs all day like they do. So you're not smarter than them in this one thing. You bow to their expertise and you do the freaking minimum. It's literally system integrators trying to convince me to sign off on them doing less than the minimum for the customer. I'm sorry, but like, hold on, testing. Hold on, I'm not showing OBS right now. 1 second. Well, my sensor beep isn't working, so F that. All right, that'll have to do. Lenovo was not willing to do the minimum here, and that upsets me a lot. A lot, because they sell so many computers. They are, I think, the largest retailer of computers right now, beating out Dell, beating out HP, and they're pulling this crap. And they sponsor a lot of stuff, too. It's a damn shame. But anyways, whatever. Swap your power supply. Put in a 650 watt. Then you can run something like a 4070 if you wanted to down the line. 650 watt power supply, if this thing even fits an ATX power supply, which I don't know. I think this case does. You're going to have to tell me. I just don't know. There we go. That is one of the number one ways to trigger me. Okay, that looks like ATX. Oh, thanks for getting rid of the picture I was looking at. That looks like ATX to me. Nice of them to not even put a freaking kill switch on it. Holy jeez. The I/O on this motherboard. Oh, no. For gaming PC, it's fine. It's fine. Dude, come on. Just take it easy, Bray. Take it easy, Bray. It's fine. It was probably a really good deal, though. Like, they do have some really good pricing. But they have proprietary motherboards that might fit the ATX standard. But it is their own stuff. Like, they don't do silly stuff like Dell where they'll extend the PCB so they don't have to have a wire going to the front panel I/O. It's like directly, basically you're plugging directly into the motherboard on your front panel I/O on an Alienware. It's crazy. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Binary? How's it going? Happy Tuesday, gamers. Happy Tuesday to you. Nakey Jakey, I mean, the 16-pin GPU connector is under-engineered. I looked at 3060 Legion specs, and the BIOS is locked where you can't get the RAM at its max speed. That's very typical for OEMs. HP does it, Dell does it, Lenovo does it. Should I cut my losses and trade it in for an Alexander PC Hero? I mean, the Hero's really good. Like, I didn't mean to go off so thoroughly. Lenovo deserves it, but you don't. I'm not trying to judge your decision because they market these things really well and they look very appealing. And it looks like kudos to Lenovo for using ATX standard power supplies and allowing us to fix their dumbass mistakes. Good job, Lenovo. You're only half stupid. But, like, you are locked down in your BIOS, as Igor mentioned. That's something I brought up with HP systems. Lenovo does it too, and, you know, Dell and all that. That's OEMs. OEMs want control over their own stuff. The problem there is like, oh, there's a new BIOS update for this platform. Well, they have to come out with their version, their own version of it. Regular BIOS is not going to work on this thing. Like some Asus or MSI BIOS is not going to load onto this thing. They might not even let you update it. They might need to, like, have you send it in or something. I don't know. Looks like it has a decent cooler on it. It's okay. I mean, it's only it's a 4 heat pipe tower cooler. That's pretty weak. Especially if you're talking about this thing having a 13700F in here. Holy Toledo. At least it has airflow. Good job. Yeah, I don't know. You might want to sell this thing and grab a Hero, but I mean, that's going to be up to you. I don't typically, most people don't come in with upgrades for an OEM system. So I don't really know what to do here because there's going to be certain things where it's like, I recommend you buy a part and it doesn't fit in there. Their proprietary motherboard might use a 12-volt connection like Dell does. So you have to get their power supply. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable making recommendations for this one because it is OEM proprietary stuff. Half stupid is still half smart, Bray. You got me, Crash. That is very true. I think the Hero has a 7800 XT version. No, it has a 4070 Super version. But if this is still for 1080p, you can go 4060 and it'll do it all day long. You'll be good to go. Unless they updated it to have AMD cards. Let's find out. Nope, it's all NVIDIA. Looks like they ran out of this RAM here, so it's now above $1,000. But here's the thing, guys. This has been an awesome thing that Alexander PCs worked towards doing. Selling a PC for $1,000 with a 4060 with a lifetime warranty was a hard thing for them to do, and it's been doing really well. So I was really happy to hear that. TJ worked really hard to make this one happen. Delivered to your door with a lifetime warranty previously for under $1,000, now just over $1,000. That's freaking awesome. And it's gone after the 2024 holiday season. So yeah, if you want to do that, I bless that decision. It has my blessing. And that's your second system right there. I never usually do that. I don't usually look at an upgrade and say, yeah, just get a new computer. In this case, it just so happens that Alexander PCs has one of their best offerings they've ever had for budget PCs. And actually, I need to check something. It was being hinted at before. No, okay, they haven't made any changes yet. Okay. That is nuts for about $1,000. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You're very welcome, Cybertron. No problem. I feel like we did a good rebuild of that other PC though. I think that's going to turn out really nicely. And just so you know, I was told directly that I had influence over this front panel being a thing. It was very nice of iBuyPower to tell me that and be like, yeah, you had something to do with that. Alrighty. That's it for this one. One more call out to Justin Ritter. Calling Justin Ritter. Maybe this one works. Hold on. It does work. Yeah, here you go. Lenovo, you. I didn't do that very well. I kind of left some of the word in there, but still, there you go. It's somewhat censored. It was on a different page. But here we go. Calling Justin. Justin Ritter. It is your turn. I wonder if I can make a new filter that makes it like that, kind of sort of like Justin Ritter. But I got to give it like that sound like a store, so it has to have reverb, and I got to work on that. That'd be kind of fun for calling someone out. Let's see what other sound effects we can throw in there. Justin Ritter. That's really loud. Holy crap. Can I let me adjust this. That is super loud. That's a little better. How about this one? How's it sound on this one? There you go. Sorry about your ear holes, everybody. Belated warning, headphone users.
Ritter, pick up the darn phone and answer the man.
Thank you, Igor. Uh, 7500F for gaming, Peter. I have not really looked into the benchmarks for that. I usually would just say 7600. I don't really have feedback on that. Looks like he's missing out. What's up, Savage Hobo? Pick up the darn phone and answer the man. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know what to tell you. If not, then we're going to move on to Yazofril. Yaz, where are you at? Are you here? Just checking if you're here, because if Justin doesn't respond in the next couple minutes, we're moving on to you. Okay, you are here. Good. Stand by, please. To close, says Braxton. What do you mean to close? Or too close? You mean too close? Maybe Lenovo knows more about GPU, PSU requirements than NVIDIA. Yeah, uh-huh. Bueller. Got to go switch back to Twitch. You got it, Peter. If anybody else has submitted their form previously and is here to get their help but has not informed me of this, I'm sorry to tell you, I don't automatically know that you're here. So what you need to do, if you're on Twitch, take a look in the emotes there. If you're just following, there's an emote for you there, or if you're following or subscribed, either way, there's one that says I'm on the list. That is not for use if you're not on the list. Otherwise, it's dumb and it doesn't work. It's only for people who are waiting for help. If you're on YouTube, you can only use the emote if you get a membership. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't have free emotes that I can customize. You just got to tell me you're on the list. Put at Braver, I'm on the list. And don't misspell my name, please. Have some respect. Igor, no, that doesn't work. You get a pass because you are you, but don't encourage everybody else to start doing that. It needs to get to a point to where my brain functions to where I see that and I'm like, okay, cool, that name here, that name here. So if you pollute my brain is polluted. It doesn't work. Savage Hobo says, new to your stream, how do you get on the list? Well, it's that thing that's been posting. Well, okay, so you were on YouTube previously. Over there, it's in the description. It's a link right there. If you're in Twitch, it pops up every now and then. Or I can do that. You click that link, you fill out the form, take your time. You don't have to like obsess over it or anything, but don't rush through it. Make sure you put accurate answers. If anything is in bold or italicized or underlined, I'm going to be very particular about it. But yeah, fill out that form and you'll get on the list. I'm so torn on whether to snag the 7000X3D for $332. That's a really good price. And I wouldn't feel bad if the 9800X3D is way better if you get it if you get the 7000X3D at that price, because the 9800X3D is probably gonna be like somewhere between $450 and $500. Now, the pricing on those is people trying to get rid of them before the 9800X3D comes out in a week and a half. So that binary theory is up to you. Micro Center makes sense. They are going to be clearing those out before the 9800X3D comes out. All I know is that watching Jay, I don't have one to test. All I know is that watching Jay's video today about using CU DIMM memory on the Core Ultra 9. During that, he was like, basically not quite outright saying it, but he was like dancing around the topic that he has a 9800X3D. And if you just want a gaming PC, wait for it, because the charts are all about to change when it comes to gaming. He said it's going to make all those other bars look small or something, that they're going to shrink. That indicates a really big uplift in performance. So you got to know for yourself. I can't tell you whether you're going to care about that or not. You have to know for yourself whether that means you would be bothered by it if it's way better. But it is looking like it's, as Igor was saying, it's looking like it's going to be around $500 for the 9800X3D. It had better be a lot better if it's going to try to fight against the current pricing at, you know, although I can't say current pricing for 7800X3D because it's all over the board. All over the place, all over the it's across the board, it's all over the place. What? Main Gear's doing better with bare minimum PSU for most of their systems, right? Yeah, they're doing better. They have improved. I haven't looked at them for a while, though. The person who I was working with at Main Gear to finally do a review unit left the company. And they were basically like, yeah, email us. That's not the right way to get through to me because, like, I'm a single one-person show for production here, and I still do a lot of editing. Cuddles does a ton of editing. I do a lot of editing, and I do all the production. And I just don't have time to be like, if I had somebody to reach out to companies and talk and manage that stuff, easy, no problem. I don't. Whereas they're a company with specific people just for talking to people like me. They can reach out to me. They have my email. J2 Cents says the 9800X3 is going to smoke the 70. Yeah, it's going to smoke everything when it comes to gaming. The thing is, I'm interested because they're hinting that it's going to be better for productivity stuff too. If they can manage that, Intel is smoked. They're screwed. Like, it's going to be rough. Now, I don't think it's going to beat something like a Core Ultra 7 when it comes to video editing. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way it's going to do that. Not a similarly priced. It's actually going to be like $100 more, and it's not going to be as good. So if you're like, I want to do gaming and video editing, and I want to do this and I want to do that, it's usually a one-trick pony. If they can make it a 2 or 3 trick pony, that's a crazy pony. Good, sure. But Binary, you got to decide for yourself whether it's worth the extra $170 to you. $160. That's a $160 price difference. Now the only question is whether it's power efficient. It's 3D V-Cache. It's going to be pretty power efficient. Yeah, 9000 series CPUs were focused more on power efficiency than 7000 series. So yeah, it should be pretty efficient. It's going to be crazy because that's what 3D V-Cache is. It's crazy. It's a crazy technology that does crazy things. Let's talk about ponies. You're making me hungry. Well, that's the end of that conversation. But yeah, I guess we're going to go ahead and help out Yazofril because Justin Ritter has not shown up. I see your name in chat there, but I don't see you saying anything. So we're going to go ahead and move on. Yazofril, it is your turn. Gaming, pro gaming / esports, and streaming. $3,000 budget. Yeah, wait for the 9800X3D. Week and a half, Yazofril. It's coming out a week from Thursday. And with gaming, pro gaming / esports, and streaming, 8 cores and 16 threads should be just fine for streaming. It's going to be the best gaming CPU on the market for a couple years after this, probably. And all you have to do is wait for a week from Thursday, November 7th. And then that we'll have all the info, we'll have reviews for it, and then shortly after that, you'll be able to order it from SIs, because you are looking for pre-built. I knew there was a reason I like this community. Well, look, waiting is hard. I hate waiting. Personally, I hate waiting. I am impatient. You know, I don't, when I order something, even if it's 2-day delivery from Amazon Prime or whatever, I am watching the tracking. I am not a patient person. But when it comes to something that's going to affect me for years to come, I can be pretty patient. Well, yeah, but what's going to happen is at that point, Yaz, you can come back and we'll do your thing then. We'll do a system then. So what I'll do here is I'll go here and I will unmark that so that you're just in the form. You don't need to fill it out again. It will be good for you to figure out what resolution you want to game at. Just watch a couple videos on that. No problem. And then we can update that then. But yeah, this stays in here, meaning as people keep entering forms, you'll be higher up, so you get helped out first, just like we did earlier with Kari May. They got helped out before anybody else because they had filled out the form earlier and then come back. Is it really popular in parts of Scotland? Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not against it or anything. It's just not normal for me. I mean, you basically, I'm using like a turn of phrase, one trick pony, and you are removing the pony from that turn of phrase and then eating it. I'm not crazy. That's just weird. So it's okay for me to be like, that's just weird, because what weird is what it is. Okay, that's working. Okay, good. Simple Green says maybe in a year or two. I still have the music a little loud. There we go. Maybe in a year or two, upgrade to the 9800X3D, running the 7800X3D, and that was coming out of a 6th gen Core i7. I think I'll be okay for a while without upgrade. Well, Simple Green, like I was saying earlier, anyone who got the 7800X3D a month or two ago or a year ago or whatever is going to be fine for a long time. It's just if you're getting something new, wait a week and a half at this point, at this juncture, because now we know when they're launching it. We didn't know before. Alrighty, thank you. Alrighty, you're welcome. Savage Hobo is on here as well. You submitted your form and you're looking to do an upgrade. I'm going to need basically to know what system you have. If you can put it into a PC part picker list and send me a link through a Twitch Whisper, that'd be great. Or you can just type it all out. But I need to know that, and then I combine that with the use case, gaming and streaming. So basically, whenever someone chooses upgrade, you got to be ready to tell me all the details. I'm not starting from scratch here. There's a history to that. What PC you have, like how long you've had it, what you're trying to do, that it's not doing well enough, and that tells me where we need to upgrade it. I guess I can go ahead and remove this one because they got caught in the more than a month trap. Oops. Delete row. There we go. Okay, just waiting on Savage Hobo there. Probably typing out a bunch of stuff, so we will be patient. I said I'm impatient. I can be patient. Caston 94 said, Braethorn, I'm here. Let me see. Caston 94 from the 10th. Okay. Wait for new hardware, Falcon Northwest. Okay. All right. Let's see what you're doing, though. Oh, you're going to hate this. Did you hear everything I said about the... I mean, the whole idea was going to be the Intel first, and then AMD would launch their thing. around that time or shortly after. That's what's happening now. On the 7th, launching 9800X3D. You're going to want that for a a really high-end gaming PC from Falcon Northwest. You're going to want to wait for the 9800X3D. And what we'll do is we'll spec out a system and you just swap it to the 9800X3D when that comes out. So let's go do that. I'll do that while we're waiting for that. Will 7950X3D last me a while? Yeah. I mean, don't pour coffee on it, but sure. Otherwise, yes. Just logged into stream, no problem. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go with Ryzen series processors. Wow, they have a lot of choices here now. We're gonna go here and we're gonna pick out the parts, and you'll just change the CPU once it launches, unless there's a pre-order thing. Let's find out. To the 9800X3D. Oh wow, it's already at 30. Okay, what was your actual max budget, by the way, Caston? Yeah, that's fine. I don't like how it does that. Oof. But I'm zoomed in like 150%. So, I mean, this thing is already so well spec'd. The only thing is a 4060 Ti. So that's where we're going to upgrade there. Oh, you want Crash timed out? All right, there you go, Crash. Aspire 2019 has issued a timeout. So there you go. We'll see you in a certain number of seconds. I forget how many it is. 600 seconds. We'll see you then. 5,000 to 5,500. Okay. And yes, just specifically coffee. Pour coffee on it. Don't do that. Okay, 7900 XTX, super solid option. Almost $800 cheaper than the 4090. You chose 1440p. This thing can game like crazy. Now, if you want a 4080 Super, it's $11 more, and they're about the same performance, but the 4080 Super will get better ray tracing performance. If you had selected 4K for your gaming choice, for your resolution choice, which you chose 1440p here, I would have said 4090. But you said 1440p, so 7900 XTX is both the 4080 Super and the 7900 XTX can game at 4K, but they will decimate all in 1440p. But if you choose 4K, I'm going to put the 4090 in there, and it'll be just under budget, maybe. Let's see what it comes out to with 4090. $53.78 before taxes and shipping and stuff. So yeah, if we go with this, it's much more reasonable. And the performance is nuts. The 7900 XTX, let's go to this. Let's go to 1440p Ultra. It is the highest performance GPU on just under the 4090. It trumps both the 4080 and 4080 Super for less money. Not a lot less, but less money. And then you would have an all AMD system. Plus, the price for the 9800 X3D might go a little higher. It might go higher than the 7800 X3D is right now in the configurator. So this leaves room for that to change. You could also do something like putting in a 4 terabyte drive instead of 2 terabytes. Or we can swap it out for the Crucial T705. PCIe Gen 5 speeds, 2 terabytes. And those speeds mean up to 14,500 megabytes per second, 14.5 gigs per second sequential read speed, and up to 12.7 gigs per second sequential write speeds. I think we'll do that. It is just for gaming. You shouldn't need more than 2 terabytes, but I did hear like the newest Call of Duty is gonna be like, what, over 300 gigs just for that one game? It's ridiculous. 4 terabyte would add $279 to the price. You'll actually probably, well, let me see here. If we do a second drive here, yeah, it's cheaper to get the 4 terabyte than to get 2 terabytes. But I did crash instead. Well, I hope he's not mad at me. Depending on you doing you, Broga, but I did crash. That's okay. What's up, Gabriel? How's it going? Now, if you want to, we can go back to the drive that was there before, the Kingston Fury Renegades. Great drive. The only limitation to it is PCIe Gen 4, but it's very fast. It's 7,200, 7,300 sequential, up to 7,300 sequential read speed, up to 7,000 sequential write. So, yeah, you can go with that and then do a 4090 if you want to, but I don't think you need that. He didn't see. Bro timed me out as well. Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see that. Okay. All right. See you soon. Hi, all. Like the stream. Thanks, Braythorn. You're welcome. A bit off topic, but there's got to be the weirdest form factor PC I've ever seen. Cooler Master sneaker. Yeah, that's OEM. It is. Yeah, it is OEM. They use the thing is they use standard parts like an ITX motherboard, SFX power supply, but the case is proprietary to them. I got to see that as early as 2023 in January 2023 at CES. I see it there. All right. Okay, it's a pre-built. All right. Well, let me finish this one up real quick. Crucial 2 terabyte works. Okay. I don't think I can send these to. Can I send these to you? I can email it to myself, or I can print a summary. I can save a PDF. So basically, you could just follow along. So let me give you the link here. Go to that link and then do these things. Also, you're on the 1,000 watt power supply. We can push that up to the 1,200 watt. So push the power supply up to the 1,200 watts. The 7900 XCX is fine. With the thing is, I don't know what upgrades you might do down the line. And let me tell you, power supplies are critical if you're high budget and like say you want to do a 5090 in a year. You're going to need very high wattage for that. That's a 600 watt part by itself. So yeah, it's within budget. So push up to the Vertex GX 1200 watts. Stick with the same motherboard. It's already way more motherboard than you need for a strictly gaming PC. Processor, I currently put it on the 7800X3D CPU. What you're going to do is you'll save this build, and on the 7th, they should have the 9800X3D. You might even be able to email Falcon Northwest and be like, hey, I want to do this build, but I want it with a 9800X3D. How can I get one of the first ones? Okay, Kingston Fury Beast, 32 gigs, 6,000. This is already just fine. You don't need any more than 32 gigs, but if you want, you can push it to 64. Video card, I went to the AMD Radeon RX 7900 XTX, 24 gig. All right, see you, Rutu. Take it easy. I left it on the motherboard that was already there. Yeah. You know what? Let's do 64 gigs on the RAM. Why not? Because of the fact we're not going with the... Like, I swear, looking at this list here, look at the distance between the 4090 and the 7900 XTX. That costs $800. No, thank you. No, thank you, NVIDIA. So where were we? We were here. I put it up to the 64 gigs. Because we're not doing that $800 for a like 5% increase in 10% increase in performance, 5%, whatever that percentage is, you can put that into all the other components on the PC. We upgraded your system drive, we upgraded your memory, we upgraded the power supply, all of that, all well within budget, allowing for shipping and taxes and stuff. Oh, you got timed out too? Everybody just getting timed out? All right, I just saw that. Okay, cool. This is why it'd be nice if I had a mod more of the time, but hey, all good. Bye, Broga. If I'm going with 5090 on release, shall I upgrade to 1200 from 1000? It's going to depend on the other parts. If you have like a really high-end CPU in there, which would make sense if it's not just a gaming PC. If it's just a gaming PC, you can go with a more reasonable CPU that's not going to use as much power. And like with something like a 7800X3D or 9800X3D, those are more efficient than you would think, considering their performance. Here, I don't think a 1200 watt is necessary. I think it's nice to have. So if you're doing something like that, that's a fairly efficient CPU, because when you go to really high resolution like 4K, your CPU doesn't have to work as hard. Then you can stick with 1000 watts very likely. But that's the whole build, really. All you got to do is basically, you can save this, essentially put it in your cart, and then just edit it and change this to a 9800X3D, or reach out to Falcon Northwest, tell Kelt I said hi, please, and say you'd like the 9800X3D when it comes out. They might even be able to like do a pre-order thing for you, where they build like the rest of the PC and they just drop the CPU in there and test it out before they ship it to you once it's ready to go. I'm sure they already have them, and they're stocking up for launch day, but you never know. AMD can be pretty bad about sending out parts to SIs prior to launch day. It's pretty annoying. I've heard that from several SIs at this point. I mean, to be fair, launching something that people have been waiting for like, well, since the 7800X3D was a week old, and definitely since 9000 series was rumored, that's stressful stuff, and you want to do it right, especially considering how poorly they did the launch of standard 9000 series, where it took a month for them to be more towards their actual capabilities. I'm not mad. I was just afraid that I did something wrong. No, Crash, it's just a fun thing people can do. If you look in the point redemptions, you can time out somebody else just for funsies, and they chose your name. And then they got timed out, and the person that timed them out got timed out themselves. It's just, yeah. It's not my favorite thing, because then those people aren't chatting now. But, you know, it's just a thing that's there. Caston, you have to make me a deal, though. Make sure you tell them that Braythorn said hi. It doesn't equal any kind of financial kickback for me. They don't do that at Falcon Northwest. I don't have a coupon code for you. Falcon Northwest is like, they're the Ferrari of all these SIs. Ferrari don't give no discounts. They're not jerks, though. Ferrari, from what I hear, Ferrari dealerships are full of jerks who expect you to show up with an envelope of cash just for the salesperson or whatever, just to get service. But like, it's not like that, but you know what I mean. Yeah, you can even do the rest of your setup too here. Keyboard, mouse, monitor, second monitor, third monitor, speakers, headset, and even surge protection. My thing about this is like, I want them to have better surge protection and even a really solid UPS on here. Like, what person is going to be spending $5,000 on a PC and wouldn't want to spend 10% of that on something to protect it? That was you who used it on Broga. There you go. So it's Exiled Wolf's turn. Is the 3X3D something to wait for third-party reviews before getting? J2Sense was already hinting that it is going to shake up all of the benchmarks. They're all going to be shaken up. Like, it's gonna go crazy. So, but yeah, you can wait on that. The 7800X3D is going to be more than enough for this system regardless. You could go with it right now if you wanted to. The reason we were waiting for Intel is because Intel, maybe they were going to come out with a better gaming CPU than the 7800X3D. I'm sorry, I couldn't finish that. I couldn't finish that one, that sentence. But hey, you know what? Hope springs eternal. And it is, like, I think the Core Ultra 7 is a great CPU. I think it is. It's just they're not going to beat 3D V-Cache until they have their own. It's just they got to do it. They're going to have to figure out a way to do their own thing for increasing the cache and minimizing the latency between the CPU and cache. Yeah, whenever I tell you guys to wait for reviews, it's not because it's automatically going to be better. Sometimes the reviews come out and it's like, oh, it's actually worse for my use case. I'll go with the thing that's cheaper, that's from the previous gen, or I'll wait for the thing that's coming out in 2 weeks or whatever. That is a thing that happens. And it's okay. It's not like it's a bad thing when like with Intel, I think they did the right thing by resetting their product stack. Not the naming convention. They should have just made it 15th gen. All right. We're all used to it. It could have been fine. It would have been fine. But they were making a point by doing that, by saying, listen, everybody, first off, we're really, really bad at naming things. And we just wanted to remind you of that. Secondly, we're changing up. We heard you guys a few years ago with the release of 12th gen and 11th gen and 10th gen and all that. So we've been working for a few years on a more efficient platform. Here you go. It's still not as efficient as AMD. We know that. But we're better at video editing, so shut up. That's exactly how it probably went in the boardroom. If you look at it, though, Crash, the whole timeout thing, it is a fun thing. Broga was straight up like, hey, sorry to bother you, but I got a timeout because it's just fun. It's just like, got me, you know? Winter Gaming, how's it going? Hey, Braythorn, hi, chat. There you go. How are you? Oh, it's not published to chat for some reason. You guys can see that, but okay. I'm not sure why. That's weird. Yeah, it literally just doesn't publish that to chat. But hey, hi, how's it going, Winter Gaming? With that hint today by Jay, I think the new X3D will be sold out on day one. Well, that's the thing. If you're trying to build, then yes. At retail, yeah. SIs, though, they don't sell as fast because they're selling entire systems. We're in the right spot, everybody. Chixbo, sorry, I don't have that hat handy. This is not going to look good because of the way my lighting is currently set up, but here you go. You get the donut hat. I do have to go over here real quick, though, and just put, oops, notes in here. There we go. Wait. Okay, yeah. Okay. All right, now I get to do the thing for Savage Hobo. All right, Sailor, have a good one. Yeah, get better soon, okay? Or at least I can chat on here. Yeah, Winter Gaming, I don't know what was up with that. Did you offend Dan Clancy or something? What's going on with that? Okay, so I have the build right here. So let me ask you this. Where is it that you're having an issue? What's not working for you? Because that's usually when you want to do an upgrade, is whenever there's an actual problem with your system that it's not really, it's not doing the job. Try to ask Twitch why I couldn't chat in news streams, but they didn't help at all. That is weird. But hey, Winter, that's why we have both Twitch and YouTube. You'll always have that option. Ravage Man Live, what's going on? Hey, Braythorn, I run a pre-built company with my stepdad. I was wondering if you could check us out and give us some pointers. Yeah. Sure. That's a possibility for sure. I'm helping someone literally right now, but what time is it? Yeah, we'll have time after this. I don't have anyone else who is waiting on help, so after I help out Hobo, then we're good to go. Clutch computers. All right, cool. FPS low in 1440. Well, you're running a 3070 Ti. That shouldn't be a problem. What are your settings like? Do you just max out your settings in games? Also, you didn't list your system memory. I don't see your system memory here. I would need to know that. Looking at this motherboard, though, looks like you are running. This is a great motherboard. I love this motherboard. This was such a good motherboard back in the day for Z690. It's DDR5. Yo, Ravage Man, thank you for the Prime sub. Appreciate that. Welcome to the Swarm. You run your settings at max. Okay. I'll tell you that right there. Here, I'm going to do something for you. We'll all watch this together because there's people watching on YouTube. All right? Here. It is a waste of GPU resources to set your graphics settings to ultra. This is not a hot take from me. It is a waste of GPU resources to set your graphics settings to ultra. This is not a hot take from me. This is a generally known thing. Linus Tech Tips did a huge video on this. Don't set your graphics to ultra. The difference between high and very high settings to ultra is like this much visually and like this much in demand on your GPU. It is the definition of diminishing returns. And visually, it's so hard to tell the difference, but your GPU sure as hell knows the difference. Don't set your graphics to ultra. It is a waste of GPU. There you go. You're stressing your GPU for no reason. When you set your graphics to ultra in every game, just go the easy route. You are getting this much benefit visually, and you're putting this much more work on your GPU. It is a good practice to get used to get into, to just start to adjust settings in different games, because different games are going to affect your hardware differently, are going to require different things from your hardware. Okay, this can't be correct then, because this motherboard uses DDR5, and you just told me specs for DDR4. So this is not the right motherboard. There's a version of this that is DDR4. I got that nice line there. Isn't that nice? What's up, John Paul Bacon? How's it going? What, in your opinion, is the best Wi-Fi PCIe card for online gaming? I don't really. Most of them are like manufactured by like the same companies anyway. Just get one that has the antenna that comes with it, where it's on a wire rather than directly connecting to the card. so you can put your antenna like on top of your PC or somewhere high up. My usual recommendation for online gaming is do whatever the hell you have to do to run an Ethernet cable to where your PC is. You can get a 100-foot Cat6 cable for like $18 on Amazon that comes with mounting hardware with it to run it over door frames and things like that. That's what I would do, because it'll be cheaper than getting a nicer Wi-Fi card. But if your router, or if it's a modem and router, or a gateway, if that isn't like, if it's across the house, it almost doesn't matter how good of a card you get for Wi-Fi. You're still going to be limited by the physical limitations that are degrading the Wi-Fi signal between your PC and your router. So you can bypass all of that by running Ethernet. What's up, Invader Zenny? How are you? Oh, yeah. Oops. That looks so tacky, though. You can, if you don't want it to look tacky, then you go into your attic, and you run it through the attic and down the wall, and you get keystone plates and keystone jacks, and you can do it that way. Then it doesn't look tacky. Or you get a wireless access point, put it in the middle of your home, and then you have a much stronger Wi-Fi signal throughout the home. There are a lot of options for that. Networking is what I used to do. There are a lot of options for it. You can get a mesh Wi-Fi system. Does it cost a lot? It does. It doesn't look tacky, though. Savage Hobo, you have to put the link in Whispers like you did before. You can't put links in chat. Here, you can click my name here to do that. Oop. There you go. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, an adjusted parts list. Okay, sure. Let's take a look here. Okay, I thought you added the memory, but that's fine. Just DDR4 3200, and it was 32 gigs. It was 32 gigs. How much capacity do you have of memory? 32 gigs or 16? If it's 16, double that. Get it to 32. Games are getting more and more demanding on RAM. And as for your GPU, the 3070 Ti is usually very capable of running 1440p. The only place it really suffers is in the amount of VRAM that it has. VRAM. The VRAM at 8 gigs for a 3070 Ti is pretty low. It's doable, but 1440p uses more VRAM because it's more pixels. That's a very simplified and not great way to explain that, but that's the gist of it. You're getting excited for the 9900X 3D? I am kind of exhausted with launch season. It's exhausting. When it comes to being a content creator, having to tell people to wait when they don't want to wait is exhausting and annoying, and I don't like doing it. And then just like, I don't get the stuff for testing myself. That would be its own kind of exhaustion. I get it. Like I got the 265K system for launch day, and that was cool. That was really fun, especially because nobody had them for testing prior to the lifting of embargo, but whatever. I'm just tired of launch season. I want it to be done with. I want it to be January. I want the 50 series to be out. I want all that to just be done. Yeah, that's going to be your first step right there. If you have 16 gigs of RAM, take one of those sticks of RAM out. Make sure you seat it properly when you put it back in. But there's a label on there. See exactly what kind of RAM you have, or you can use, like I said, Specky or Hardware Info 64 to see the exact SKU for your RAM, and then you'll be able to order another kit that matches it exactly. Pop that in there, and then you'll want to go to and make sure, by the way, if you remove a stick of RAM, put it into the exact same slot where it was before. Okay, but then you'll need to go back in your BIOS and re-enable XMP, but you're going to have a much easier time running games that are newer games that are less optimized or more demanding on system memory, and reducing your graphics settings in most of your games to like Because here's the thing, visual fidelity is awesome, but if your games aren't running smoothly, you're gonna have a bad time. And it's not even gonna be like necessarily your max frame rates or your average frame rate. It's your 1% lows and 0.1% lows that actually dictate a lot about the kind of experience you have. Like it could be running really smoothly and then hiccup, okay, and it's running really smoothly and that's frame time pacing too. There's a lot of other statistics there, and you can help those by reducing some of the fancier features in your graphical settings. So there you go. I've been seeing a lot of the Core Ultra stuff slowly popping up. It's funny because it's a new architecture, a new platform. I mean, even the monolithic nature is gone, and it's now chiplet in a way. It's tiles. It's not one single piece of silicon. It's very different. And they were like, it's not going to be the gaming champ, and everybody's like, oh yeah, but it's not the gaming champ, and they're like, we literally told you that. We literally said that. We said it's going to be like at parity with our previous gen, but using like 40% less power. But yeah, but it just uses less power. It's not faster. We told you that. I'm so I love my peers in this field of YouTube, PC centric tech YouTube. They're amazing people. But I also know the struggle to get people to click on your videos, and that you get sort of... I talk about this in the video that's coming out tomorrow. You can just hear me say it then. I don't agree with how negative everybody was when we were prepared for this info. It's the same way how Intel was like, hey, 14th gen is a Raptor Lake refresh. We're just refreshing it. The only thing that we're adding any cores to, we're doing anything is 14700K. Here you go. And then everybody's like, huh, this is basically a refresh. Intel's like, what do you want from us? We told you. You knew. Please stop, guys. Please. Please. Chill. I'm over the negativity. I'm over it. The 265K is a good freaking CPU. Unless you just want to game. Then just get the 9800X3D when it comes out. There you go. That's it. You don't have to watch any more videos about it because I summed it all up for you. Intel's biggest mistake, their only real mistake, other than, yeah, they should have let, the ones and zeros side of things bake a little bit more before they, but that's the same thing AMD does. So if you're going to call Intel out for it, call AMD out for that. But I don't know, man. The Intel's main mistake, now I'll go over to the main camera for this. Intel's main mistake with the Core Ultra 200S launch was not sending reviewers the Core Ultra 7. And I know why they did it. And I talk about it in the video coming out tomorrow. You can watch it then. I know the reason they did it, and we will explore that in tomorrow's video. And we talk about VR LA Tech, which is the company that allowed us to have an unboxing and stress testing and shakedown experience on Thursday, the launch day for Core Ultra 200S. Thank you again, VR LA Tech. And that video comes out tomorrow. And there's a giveaway of that PC. We're giving it away. I'm not keeping it. They're not getting it back. One of y'all is going to win it. And that's been popping up in Twitch chat now and then. Click that link. And in YouTube, it's in the description. Go click it. Go enter. Thanks so much for looking at 32 gigs of memory. You're very welcome. Hey, Braithorn, what are your opinion on power lines for gaming? Power lines? Are you talking about Ethernet over house power? Not a huge fan, but it can sometimes be better than Wi-Fi. Sometimes. The thing is, the problem is there's really cheap kits for that out there that don't give you a very good experience. So don't cheap out on that if you're going that route. I personally would prefer to spend, because I've done it for years, I would prefer to spend a day running Ethernet rather, and then you can even have a hard-lined access point I mean, as a matter of fact, I mean, there's access points with 5G backhaul now that use 5G Wi-Fi to have a direct connection to the main router, and then bam, it uses 2.5 and Wi-Fi 6 to do really fast Wi-Fi. Otherwise, whatever. There's options out there for helping get internet throughout your home. The main problem is that most of the time, internet service providers will install your router and modem or the gateway, the combo device, on one side of the house because it's much easier to run a line through an exterior wall than to run it in to somewhere in the house. I know that because I did that for a while. I know what I preferred. That was a lot easier. Once we got mesh Wi-Fi, it was no longer a thing. Mesh Wi-Fi is very, very good. And it's a good option if you want to run off of Wi-Fi. Just an FYI, when checking out our business, we are both 50-50 partners. Okay. Maybe a 4x16 gig memory kit so you can have 64 gigs of RAM. That will work best right from the start. Who are we talking to? Oh, my wife's work computer is in a back room and I ran a cable up high across the edge of the walls and doors. Mine is hooked up too, but my PC is like 2 feet away. Yeah. Wi-Fi enhancers that plug into a wall outlet can be an option sometimes. So yeah, those aren't my favorite. Because that comes down to like, what condition is your wiring in your home? Like, that is an unknown quantity. Maybe get a higher capacity memory kit with, okay, that was to, all the modules work together right out of the box. Oh, just got home from doing errands and dinner out. Okay, well. Yeah, no problem, Winter. Clutch. All right. Yeah, Clutch computers. Okay, I've already got notes for you. One of my biggest pet peeves, because what's the goal, right? The goal is to get people to browse to your site, to go to your site and browse and buy something. If the first thing you do is stop them from browsing and demand personal information, you're already getting on my bad side. Like, give me your personal information, and then the option is dim, hard to see, and what does it say? No, I don't want to save money. You see the big guys doing that, don't be like them. You might have consulted someone who's into marketing, and they might have told you that is a marketing best practice. If you ever hear the words marketing best practice, that person is not your friend. So right away, that's something I would immediately get rid of. Make it a banner, make it something off to the side. Do not stop people from coming in and browsing your site, because that is literally the thing that you want them to do. Okay, family owned and operated, very cool. And also, if I do critique your stuff, remember that this is what I do for a living. It is not anything personal. It's just me actually just doing a consultation for free. So that's not a bad thing. Oh, so you guys are doing videos too. That's a great thing. You're doing shorts. Awesome. Good thing to do. Short form content is really really helpful for generating interest. Okay, good range of price from $699 up to $5,000, so that's good. BC Murray said it. Those pop-ups are just genuinely annoying. It's like you craft this beautiful, like, here's a beautiful computer that we built. Here are other bestsellers. Here's look, family owned, and it's all blocked by asking for personal info. That is not my favorite thing. But anyways, let's see. So what we have is in our top menu, Gaming PCs, clutch clothing, Y clutch, gift cards, contact, and tracking. Okay, so tracking, I imagine, is so that people can track their packages once they've ordered a PC, track how it's, where in the build process it might be, I'm guessing. Okay, so you can change to, do you guys ship internationally? Interesting. Wow. All right. For smaller SIs, it's not what I would recommend, but hey, you do you. Just because of the costs involved and the liability involved with all that, insurance being the cost that it is. Over 22 countries. Hey, more power to you then. Okay, so if we click on gaming PCs, is that the same as Shop the Dragon's Den? Let's see. Well, that was interesting. Hold on. Oh, it moved it up. What? I'm confused. It was here. Okay, that's whatever. That's just formatting. It just auto formatted to go up. I'm also zoomed in by, oh no, I'm at 100% here. So if I zoom in a lot, does it reconfigure? It does. Good job. It resizes things if I zoom in. Okay. So let's see what your budget entry looks like spec-wise. Okay. This is something that I saw started with Alexander PCs, and I'm glad to see it continuing. This is cool. And I think a lot of people might overlook it as an important thing, but you're explaining the PC. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, you're talking about the specs. Okay, but not like a breakdown of each one, why you used it, but it's there. Okay. It's something for someone to read. If they're going to be spending, it doesn't matter what your budget is. If your budget is $5,000 or if your budget is $700, your budget is a lot of money to you. So that gives you something to read through. It's like, yeah, this is going to be a worthy investment for me. Ryzen 5 4500, RX 6600. That's for a budget PC. That's a good combo. 1 terabyte SSD. Now, is that M.2 or is that SATA SSD? M.2. You got to put that there. People for budget PCs need to know that they're not getting an old SATA SSD. B450. Thank you for not using an A-class motherboard. I appreciate that. Wait, did they have? Man, I haven't looked at AM4 motherboards in a long time. Yeah, Night Fury is the dragon from How to Train Your Dragon. Uh-oh. Let's close a few of these. I think our best value one is the Valyrian. Okay. It's not here, but it's probably on the main page. I mean, you're using a high airflow case. This is nice. Now, are these fans, quick question, are these fans actually ARGB or are they illuminated fans where you have no control over whether what the colors are? It says 3 RGB fans, not ARGB. So, okay, cool. All right. I would throw an A at the beginning of that, ARGB fans, so that people know, because it stands for adjustable RGB. Because there are budget cases that come with fans where you cannot change the colors. It is what it is. You can't do anything about that. Okay, cool. Let's look at some pictures here. And it looks like this is a PC in this picture that you guys built. Thank you for that. if that's the case. Because I see, you know, I mean, it looks like it has some budget components in there, so it looks like that's what it is. Now using Kingston, good move. Good move. Okay, Valyrian Pro, is that the one you're saying is the best value? Let's take a look. $1,000, that's a hot price point. When you, like, here's the funny thing is when you put a price on something, you're by default putting it in competition with everything else that's at that price. So let's see how this stacks up, because what we were just looking at before was the Hero from Alexander PCs. That's a hard one to beat. Let's see what we've got. Ryzen 5 5600, 4060 Ti. I see. Interesting. But 16 gigs of RAM instead of 32. Like looking at I know I'm looking at your site right now, right? But your customers are going to be comparing you to the competition. So you can expect me to do that too. So yeah, this defaults with 32 gigs of RAM and it's DDR5 6000. So that's a massive upgrade over 16 gigs of DDR4. But if you want to push this thing to, and this is 1028, just because they don't have the 5200 anymore. But if you want to push it up to a 4060 Ti, it's now 1148. But this is including shipping and lifetime warranty. That is hard to beat. But still, if people like your build more, they can go with yours. You're also looking at 240mm AIO. This one is going to come with a tower cooler, the FWIW V5. So that's an upgrade on your PC. The one, I think the main downside here is that with the Ryzen 5 5600, you're on socket AM4. And that 5000 series, you don't really have much room for upgrading that. But if you're trying to shoehorn in a 4060 Ti into a system, you have to make decisions like that. So I do understand it. This right here, 1080p and some 1440p gaming. I can show y'all here too, because if you look at this list right here, what is something playable? Playable is 1080p or more, right? No, I'm sorry. Playable is 60 FPS or more. I don't know what I was doing with that. So 1440p Ultra, 4060 Ti is well above that, near 80 FPS average based on the many, many games that Tom's Hardware tested. And it is much better for 1440p than a 4060. So this is a budget 1440p system. And when you're talking about 1440p versus 1080p, the CPU becomes less important, has fewer frames per second to sort through. So you're also using Kingston NV2. That is what you will find in the Hero from Alexander PCs. Gamdias Athena M6 Lite case, about on par with the FWIW case that they're using for the Hero. B550 with Wi-Fi. Okay, good. So yeah, really the big difference here is that you're sacrificing capacity and speed on the RAM, plus upgradability with DDR5 and stuff, and the platform, but you're getting other benefits. For the type of person, listen to this. Many people who buy a pre-built will never crack that thing open. They are never going to open it. They're never going to upgrade it. They want a complete product right out of the box. And why wouldn't they? They deserve that. You know, $1,000 is $1,000 freaking dollars. So with this, you have a system that they could be playing 1440p games, not at necessarily ultra settings. What did we say about that earlier, right? Don't set your games to ultra, but like medium high settings. That's perfect for most people. So there you go. This is you're right. It is a good value right here. I would prefer to see 32 gigs of RAM personally. That's going to be about like a $30 increase in price. Maybe on the cost end, I don't know what you're getting for your. If you're a newer SI, you're not necessarily getting the best deals from distributors just yet. But I would probably want 32 gigs of RAM, and the reason is that is probably the most outdated spec right here. The 16 gigs, 32 gigs has become. You try to run Escape from Tarkov on this thing, you're gonna have a bad time. It is very, very RAM hungry. I see you like ZTT. He stops into our live streams once in a while. Nice. Yeah, I've had Zach raid a couple times. He's just a really cool dude. I got to meet him at LTX last year, and it was really cool. He didn't know who I was at the time, even though I mentioned before. Afterwards, he was like, "Oh, it was you. I thought it was you. Hey, man, sorry about that." But we didn't even really chat much. We were both on separate groups for the LTT or LMG tours. But yeah, really cool guy. We've chatted since then a little bit. Okay. Honestly, I like how clean the site is. You've done a really good job with that. I think it looks really nice. Now I'm going to show you something. Okay. This is free info for you right here. Okay. This is from the form that people have to fill out. And right now in this version that I redid in like March, I think, 455 responses. These are people telling me what they're going to use their PCs for, what they need. And, these are the budget breakouts. Out of 455 people, that's 4.5 times the amount of people who they survey for answers on Family Feud. Okay, so if you look at this, more than half is in. Okay, almost half of it. I guess you would say between 1,500 to 2,500. More than half, right? That's almost 2/3. Almost 2/3. So in that range is where I would look, at least for my audience. So let's take a look at your system that is 1,500. That's a really good price point. What have we got for this? Sama AR1. I think I saw Reactor Gaming using this. So, okay. I would say this, $1,500 and you're still on the older platform, that's rough. I would prefer to see a 7600 here. Unless you need those 8 cores, I would prefer 7600 here. But that 4070 Super, that's real tempting. That is really tempting. 4070 Super is such an interesting GPU because like, if you look at the 4080 Super and the 4080, that's the difference in performance and it sucks. 4070 Ti Super and 4070 Ti, it's a little better. The difference between the 4070 and 4070 Super is much more substantial. That little word, that super on the end there, actually made a difference with the 4070. It's a great, great GPU. 32 gigs DDR4, that would go up in price because that would be DDR5 then. In order to maintain this with a 4070 Super, yeah, 5700X versus 7600. I would probably go 7600. Now, if someone needed those cores, sure, but like, if you're just looking for a really solid 1440p gaming machine, this will do it. But I would rather not see it on an end-of-life platform like this. Once you get over $1,000, you know. But that's making you'd have to make sacrifices elsewhere. So let's move up to the $2,200 Draco Ultra. 7800X 3D and a 4070 Ti Super for $2,200 is really good. Plus, you have options to make some upgrades with storage here. The fact that you can just do that and make it 2 terabytes and it's $22.99, this is still a great deal. What I would like to see aside from that is 6,000 megatransfers per second DDR5. Because that is AMD's purported sweet spot for Ryzen 7000 series. It's what they say. DDR5 6000 CL30 is what they say is the sweet spot for their own product. You can make it an option. Make it an option here. That's fine. Look here. Options for different speeds of RAM that you can choose, right? You can choose it. So make that a choice a customer can make because you're not cutting too much out of the system in order to make a low starting at price. That's good. I love the Fantex Eclipse G500A. I think that's an awesome case choice. 850 watt, 80 plus gold power supply. B650 motherboard. Okay. Oh, and the RAM, if you go 64 gigs, is RGB. Okay. You're probably having trouble getting those 7800X 3Ds, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we knew. By the way, thanks for these pointers. We hope to make it into one of your vids someday. Good idea. Yeah. Here's the thing. There are, you shouldn't want to be in there yet. This is more important first, where I take a look at it, make some suggestions, things like that. In my opinion, is better to handle all that stuff first and feel like, you know what? Okay, we're ready. Because you're getting the Cliff's Notes of what I would say in the video. And I would say, especially with this being launch season, is when you would go in and renovate stuff anyway. So you do have DDR5 6000. So there you go. Good. That's when you would be doing this stuff anyway. So yeah. Another thing I forgot to mention is that any system, in my opinion, any system that is, I kind of touched on this for a second, any system that's 2000 or more should come with a minimum of 2 terabytes. The latest Call of Duty is over 300 gigs. One game. Over 300 gigs. It's ridiculous. That 1 terabyte, you're basically giving your customer a job to do. And it's you know, eventually 1 terabyte has become the minimum. Eventually that's going to be 2. And they've gotten a lot cheaper. So I think anyone looking for a system with a 7000X 3D and a 4070 Ti Super seeing a price of $2299 with that 2 terabytes would be like, that's a great price. That is, and it is. It's a really good price. Yeah, 7000X 3Ds, they're intentionally getting rid of those because of the 9800X 3D. So if you can grab some, you should. But in a week and a half, we're going to be seeing a video that's basically going to be saying like, all right, it's obsolete now. But it's not. It's not going to be. It's still going to be fast. It's still going to be awesome. Okay, and the Aragon Ultimate. This is your $5,000 PC. This is your $5,000 PC. Please go into the Lian Li Connect software and rotate that. Rotate that where it's upright. It's a $5,000 PC. Please do that. Then take another picture of it. That's just my 2 cents on that. I'm very picky. See, I'm someone who, in my job, I have to photograph and mostly video a lot of PCs. I have to make sure every little detail is perfect. It's okay, don't feel stupid. You're not the only one that's done this, though. You're not the only one that's done this, or it wouldn't bother me as much. I've seen this plenty of times. The main reason I would bring that up is because I worry that you might send it to a customer that way, and then they don't know how to fix that. And they're just like, God, I spent so much on this. And that's such a bright and like visible thing. So yeah, that's all I would say. But this thing, 7950X 3D, 4090, and it's specifically the Strix 4090. Holy crap. I hope you're not stocking up on those too much, because 2 months, they're going to be worth a lot less. Still awesome. X870. If I'm not mistaken, I think is that X870E for that Aorus board? I think it's X670, sorry. Or it's X870. Never mind. It's the 800 series. X870 non-E. So that's basically, from what I understand, that's like what the B660E was, is now X870. It's really annoying. I think for a $5,000 PC, throw an extra $100 at the motherboard and make it X870E. I believe they have a version of this, all white. Great choice, by the way. Gigabyte motherboards are freaking gorgeous, and they're great for I/O. Yeah. Now, let's talk about one other thing. Someone's investing $5K to get this PC. There should be more pictures. There should be more pictures to choose from to look at this thing from more angles. Some of your other PCs had that, but it was like pictures of the empty case. Take pictures of it from a straight on angle. Take pictures of the rear I/O, please. That's more for me than for your customers. And just get some more beauty shots of it, because I know you're proud of this thing, and you should be. So get some great pictures like that, and you're golden. Now, question for you. You mentioned your streams, right? So, question is, okay, X870E, awesome, good. Remember that your customers, when they look at your site, they're not going to have you doing this with me. So you got to take like the devil's in the details and make sure those are all ironed out. But you mentioned streaming to me earlier. Do you stream every build that you do? Every customer's build, are they all streamed? That can be hard to manage, but there's a reason I'm asking. Austin22 asks, what do you think about Paradox PC? I'm deciding on getting the second to last pre-built or the last one. Paradox is really good. Paradox builds solid computers. We've gotten good positive feedback from the community on them. And I know the ownership over there, and they're really cool. They take a lot of pride in their systems. And use code Braithorn to get a discount off the system too. I don't do the discount code thing with like just randomly. There are usually reasons why we set those up. And Paradox is well known to me. Okay. So if you stream all of your builds, that's awesome. You should basically take the VOD, put it on the PC for the customer. Because Twitch doesn't keep VODs for that long. So save the VOD locally, put it on the PC for the customer. They will always be able to watch their PC being built. Not all, just some. Okay, in that case, here's what you do. Here's what you do. Record the building of every PC, even if it's not streamed. And then put that footage on the PC. And you can keep it for yourself as well. And you keep it only because storage will come at that point. You'll have a lot of recordings. You keep that. You give the copy to the customer. And you keep that until it has arrived safely for insurance purposes on the shipping. So they get to see you pack the thing up and it's in perfect condition. And if it arrives broken, it helps you with ensuring that. But beyond that, the customer having that recording on their PC forever means they get to enjoy that forever. Even if you didn't stream it, they get to see the care and the attention that you put into building their PC. They get to be a part of that in that way. Yo, what's up, Phoenix PC? How's it going? That sounds familiar? It sure does, doesn't it? We're talking about a new SI here, Clutch Computers. Father-son business. Thank you, Binary. I have been trying to get more SIs to do this. It has multiple benefits. The main benefit is to the customer. The side benefit is for insurance purposes. That's such a good idea. I'm worried I'll miss mine being built with Alexander. Notice they build while I'm working. Yeah, that can happen. Some pointers on the vids. I don't really play other people's content in mine. I rarely do that. But I can take a look at them after. And yeah, just shoot me an email. My business email is all over the place. Bray@braithorn.tech. Okay. So 2 terabyte Kingston M.2, 64 gigs DDR5 6400. Yeah, no, this looks good. But yeah, I would definitely get pictures of stuff like rear IO, things like that. Just, you know what? If you're really proud of your cable management, show a picture of the cable management. Why not? Like, you're erring on the side of showing more than necessary. That's not a bad thing. I think that would be a good thing. Now, let's see. Under gaming PCs, though. So what you did was what you guys will see at like Alexander PCs, where it's before. Only recently did APC come out with a configurator. That was within 2024, a few months ago, like maybe half a year ago. So what you'll see is similar to that, where like you'll look at a system and there will be like 3 options there that you can upgrade. That's very normal for smaller SIs. Let's see what some of this other stuff looks like. So you've got some merch. Cool. Let's see. Why choose you guys? Okay, you started a blog and put 2 posts in it in 2023 and never did another one. apparently, or he didn't post it here, I guess. Okay, there's that. Yeah. Let's see what tracking looks like. Order number, email or phone number, and then you have a tracking number. Okay. Okay. No, it looks pretty solid, off the cuff. You've pretty well simplified like the selection. There's nothing wrong with that. I didn't look at the $1,200 one. Let me take a look real quick at the Drogon Elite. I said Dragon Elite. I think I did look at it actually. Drogon Elite, not Dragon Elite, buddy. Come on. What's wrong with me? Did I look at this? No, I didn't. 14400F and 16 gigs. That's fine. It's $1,200 PC. Radeon RX 7600. Another Sama case. 550 watt power supply. I mean, all that is it lines up properly. B760M. So here is the big critique that I have for you. Chat, what is wrong with this picture? Not the color of the motherboard or anything. That's fine. It's a reverse Oreo style. What is wrong with this picture? It is an MATX motherboard in a full ATX case. That is a pet peeve of mine that I have shared with my audience. What that means is it's impossible to have nice cable management. It is impossible. No matter what you do, there's going to be cables just hanging out. It is unused space. It is removed upgradability, expandability, because you're just, for no reason, there's fewer PCIe slots. That's it. That's what I would do. I would fix that. And that's the kind of thing where it's like, why is that such a big deal? It's not a big deal. It's a personal preference of mine, and you did ask for my opinions. There you go. And you said it's getting an upgrade shortly. I hope a full ATX motherboard is part of that. Okay, cool. So I do notice that. Okay, so you do have a Wi-Fi adapter. TP-Link AC600. Is that PCIe or is it USB? Also, for anything that comes with 16 gigs of RAM, give the option for 32 gigs, please. Some people who are really into certain games will know that it has a higher RAM requirement. Like, say you're playing Skyrim with tons of mods, or if you're playing Escape from Tarkov, whatever, you're going to know you probably need extra RAM. Minecraft with mods. Anything with mods usually ends up loading up your RAM. We listed a USB one, but we've been providing PCIe upgrades complimentary. Okay. All right. Well, I didn't know that. This is all I had, so I figured you were putting in... I hate USB Wi-Fi dongles. They're the worst. They used to be fine, but Wi-Fi has progressed way beyond USB speeds for typical adapters. Yeah, well... You have all the elements. Basically, you now have you can use this VOD and just go through it. If there's something where you're like, we don't really agree with that. Okay, that's fine. It's just, I'm a dude in a room. That's all I am. I'm just a guy in front of a bunch of hexagons. Okay? What was that? Hold up. My PC is chugging. I got to get off this 14900K. It was clearly damaged by microcode and whatnot in the year that I've been using it with the CPU. It needs to be. I need to switch that out. But whatever. We're coming to the end of the stream anyway. What's up, Solsden? And Austin, what's going on? Austin, you'll need to fill out the form because I can give you my opinion on a computer and it will have nothing to do with you. Whether it's right for you or not, I have no idea unless you fill out the form that's linked in the description. And I don't know if I'm going to be doing... Okay, here's the thing. Most people, if you're just looking at gaming, the word is that the 9800X 3D is actually going to meet all expectations and potentially exceed them. So a week and a half is the wait time. A week from Thursday. That's launching then. All right, my stream is bugging out a little bit over on the YouTube. Sorry about that, guys. But we're going to be probably ending soon. Twitch chat, you know the deal. We have, yeah, it's live. It's okay. But yeah, most people, if you're just gaming, 9800X3D is about to shake things up in just like 10 days. Hang on, just wait for that. If you're doing more than that, 265K, Core Ultra 7 265K. I tested it myself, and it is pretty rocking. Not the best for gaming, but that's the whole point of the sentence I just said earlier. If you're not just gaming, you're doing other stuff. It's not one of the best CPUs for video editing, period. So, but if you want to just game, 9800X3D fits within budget, and if not, any 7800X3Ds that are still in the market should be dropping in price around the time. If they haven't already. But Thursday, we're probably doing some kind of Halloween thing, gaming, whatever. I don't have a costume, I don't have any of that. We'll play some spooky games on Thursday. That's probably going to be just on Twitch. I guess I could do it on YouTube as well. But the thing is, I'm at the point where I'm exhausted of telling people to wait. So tired of it. But yeah, Thursday's Halloween. You help me out so much, so thanks for all your help. No problem, thanks for the tips, you help the time. Ravage Man Life. Just y'all reach out to me via email or whatever. And any questions y'all got, anything, I'm all about helping smaller SIs. That makes me happy to do. Big lag issues. You also sound like a robot now. Is that happening on? Interesting. Zero drop frames, but okay.